Halfway through season number 1, and this Titans franchise is standing tall. 2 games over 500. But there's a long journey ahead of them as the playoff drive starts, with 20 of their final 33 games on the road. But tonight, they're home to battle the Roanoke Express. So far this year, it's been a tight 5-game series with 3 exciting 1-goal finishes. Live from Sovereign Bank Arena, it's Trenton Titans hockey. Tonight, the Titans take on the #1 team in the Northeast Division in the Roanoke Express. Well, hello again, everybody. I'm Mick Moninghoff. Welcome to Titans hockey here on CN8. The Titans look to continue their home dominance. They take on Roanoke, though, a team that has won the 2 previous meetings here at Sovereign Bank Arena. Well, like we said, if the Titans are going to make a strong run into the playoffs, they're going to have to do it on the road. And you take a look at what they'll have to accomplish, like we say, they haven't fared well away from Sovereign Bank Arena. 5-9-1 on the road this season, just 2-7 in divisional play, and when they go over 500 miles, the record's just 1-3. And Bujar Amadaski, his goals against average is over 3 when he plays away from Sovereign Bank Arena. Well, tonight, as always, I'm joined by Pete Caggiano. And Pete, even though the Titans are home tonight, it's not getting any easier.
Oh, not at all, Mick. In fact, they're getting hit with a double whammy. Roanoke has won 11 of their last 12, and as we mentioned all year, the purpose of this league is to develop players for the next level. Well, that's exactly what happened. 3 Titan players have been called up to the American Hockey League. We're going to start first with Mark Murphy, who played in the All-Star game the other night and had 2 assists. Well, he'll now be playing in Wilkes-Barre. Mike Mader, who has worn the C on his sweater for a few games earlier this year, is now up at Lowell. And Jesse Boleries, who has been back and forth, is now again with the Phantoms. But what that creates is an opportunity for another player to step up and really do the job. And the guy that Coach Cassidy is now looking for is Scott Bertoli. Scott, who played just down the road 4 years at Princeton, had a little bit of a slow start earlier this year. But since he was put on a line with Hall and McLean, he has really picked up his game. In fact, in the last 7 games, he has 5 goals and 4 assists, and he's actually playing with the confidence and the enthusiasm that you need to lead this team. And that's exactly what Coach Cassidy needs at this time.
Well, like you say, Bertoli is on fire, and right now he's standing by with a 3rd member of our team, and Ken Adelberger.
Thanks, Mick. Yeah, we're with the guy here with the real hot hand right now, Scott Bertoli. 9 points in the last 7 games. You've got a point in at least the last 7 games. What's kind of been, I don't know, it might not be fair to say the turnaround in the last half a dozen games or so, but can you almost make this 2 seasons for yourself?
I don't know. I wouldn't call it 2 seasons. You know, I think earlier on I was playing well at certain points. I just don't think I was getting the bounces. The puck wasn't finding its way in the net. I think some of it has to do with who I've been playing with lately, playing with Hall and McLean. They're 2 guys that generate a lot of chances, and I've just been able to convert of late.
And we'll look for certainly a big second half of the season from Scott Bertoli. Let's go back upstairs. Mick?
All right, thanks very much, Ken. And like we say, the road to the playoffs start tonight, and they'll have to do it against the #1 team in their division in Roanoke. The face-off coming up, so stay with us right here on CN8 as the Titans take on the Express. Tonight's Titans game is brought to you by First Union. Let us be your guide to the financial world. And by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers. Toyota, real values every day. And by U.S. Airways, the official airline of the Trenton Titans. Welcome back to Sovereign Bank Arena. Face-off just seconds away as Roanoke comes calling on the Titans tonight. Let's take a look at the St. Lawrence Rehabilitation starting goaltenders, and you'll see Dan Berthume in the nets tonight for Roanoke. He's the number 1 goalie in the ECHL with that 2.08 goals against average, and he will go against Bujar Amadowski, who currently is number 4 in the ECHL in goals against average at 2.29. So we are set for the drop of the puck here, and you see Craig Hansen, Brian Mock, and John O'Brien will be whistling the plays down tonight. On the face-off, it is controlled by the Titans as the draw is won by Chris Masters. And we're underway. File and Williams on defense as they go back to get the puck in their own zone for the Titans. They start with a line of Masters, Fedoruk, and Bob Thornton. A new addition to the Trenton Titans, and there's our first whistle. Icing is called as face-off comes back at the other end.
And make a nice thing they do here in the East Coast League. Midway through the season, the teams switch uniforms. By that I mean they actually wear their away uniforms home and their home uniforms away. That's Scott Gordon, the coach of the Roanoke Express.
As his team,
pretty fancy tie he has on there tonight.
Very much so. And look at the double-breasted suit here worn by Bruce Cassidy. So a fashion statement being made by the ECHL head coaches here at Sovereign Bank Arena tonight. Just underway, face-off to the right of Bujar Amadowski is picked up by Cale McLean, who tries to get it to neutral ice, and he does. And now Mike Hall picks it up. Hall comes in 2-on-2, backhander, and a glove save made by Dan Berthume, and he holds on.
Again, veteran goaltender. He's played in the National Hockey League for a couple of years. Quickly just using the big glove and snatching the puck right out of the air.
I'll make sure I pronounce that French name correctly. Dan Berthume.
Berthume, that's it.
He's having a great year, though. His save percentage is at 93%. And also, he played back with Wayne Gretzky when he had some NHL time with the LA Kings. Back to the point. Here is Lincoln Anderson's drive, and Berthume is there to make the glove save.
Again, using the big gauntlet, the left hand, just snapping the puck right out of the air. Lincoln Anderson from Thailand. This is only his first year playing in North America. And according to Coach Cassidy, really likes the style of play. Says he has a very hard shot.
On the draw here, Jerry Keefe playing his first game for the Trenton Titans. And the draw won by Mike Perron. Trying to bring the puck out of his own end is Calvin Elfring. He's an ECHL All-Star defenseman. He'll just wind it around the boards as Schweier tries to get there first. And 2 Express players run into themselves, and now almost a giveaway. And Del Monte takes a short side stuffer that is sticked aside by Bujar Amadowski. Now the shot from the point by Throw goes a little bit wide. And the Titans look to come out. Bertoli broken up as he came across his own blue line. Keefe trying to get there. Now the Titans want to change on the fly as Roanoke will come out of its own end with Calvin Elfring. Elfring brings it to center, now just dumps it in. Roanoke wants a change, so each team with a fresh line out there. 18:25 on the clock here in the first period, and we're scoreless. Here comes Masters trying to muscle his way into the zone. He'll go in the far right wing corner and pick up the puck.
Good back checking there by the Express to ward off the attempt by the Titans right in front of the net.
Harmer and Gates do a nice job behind their own net. Here comes Troy Lake. Lake, wing-to-wing pass for Dwayne Harmer, puts on the brakes, lost it momentarily, now tries a back pass. It's picked off by Vince Williams of the Titans, and he comes out 3-on-3 if they hurry, but broken up by Harmer at the blue line, and it comes back to center. Titans just dumping in, they want to change.
Make both teams kind of feeling each other out. This is the first game in about 6 days for both teams. The All-Star game was Wednesday night down in Greenville, and so both teams have been off since last Sunday. And it may take a little while to get into the flow of the game.
Here is Mike Hall for Servant. Nice stick handling at center ice. Servant comes in 2-on-2, lifts his shoot, now throws it back in the slot for File, and it just rolled off the stick, never got the shot away. Now McLean off the near post. Didn't really have a good angle. Good Cale McLean. Mike Hall tries to dig it free. Picked up by the Express. And here comes J.F. Tremblay. Tremblay hit hard along the boards, and he is dumped by Cam White.
Good check by Cam White. Had Tremblay a little bit on the edge and did a nice job taking him out of the play.
Travis Smith centers the puck. Nobody home for Roanoke. Now Dion Del Monte tangles with Hall behind the Trenton net. Del Monte comes out on his backhand. Switches to the forehand. Shot it off the side of the net. Now Del Monte picks it up. Looks for a centering pass for Ben Schust. He never got good wood on it. Amadowski wants to clear. Can't. Comes all the way to the point for Froh. Froh's drive redirected in front by Del Monte. And right there is Booyar Amadowski to hold on.
Good play back and forth. Both teams doing a nice job. Watch here as the Titans come over the line. Notice the defenseman from the Express went down, preventing the good centering pass. And File just couldn't get a hold of that puck in front of the net. There's the backhand pass, just over skates, and then good job by Express.
Take another look at this play here as Del Monte trying to just get one under the big glove of Amadowski.
Well, Del Monte actually redirected it, but Booyar had the angle covered and was able to make the save. But we said all along, Del Monte, big goal scorer, their leading scorer for the Express. He parks himself in front of the net and does a good job distracting and screening the goaltender.
On the draw, it is controlled by the Express. And now the Titans will break it up, and they'll come back the other way. Here comes Jed Witchurch. Witchurch upended as he comes across the line. There's no call. Play continues. Bertoli makes a save on a shot from about, 60 feet away. And now the puck just bounces behind the net. Back to the point where Bertoli will keep it in. Bertoli still has it. Goes behind the net. Now Bertoli takes the return pass and has it on his backhand. Bertoli trying to center the puck. Bertoli still in control. Goes back to the point. But broken up as Strobot, and it comes all the way to center ice. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Lincoln Anderson gets there first, just shovels it ahead.
Mick, something the Titans are doing tonight, something Coach Cassidy said earlier tonight to us, was that the defensemen are going to pinch in and guys are going to go to the net. 2 or 3 times just then on those rushes, there were not only 2 but 3 Titan players within 5 feet of the crease, all looking for a rebound or a deflection.
Well, here's Williams, who comes up from the back line, and he just dumps it in. We'll see how much the defensemen really cheat up. Now Thornton throws it in front, and Patork didn't get the shot away. He was checked from behind. Patork right in the crease area and holding on as Berthume makes a big glove save again.
It was a little more difficult than it first appeared because there were 2 players, Thornton being one of them, parked right in front of Daniel Berthume, looking for a deflection or a rebound. Again, good things happen when you go to the net. Todd Fedork did a nice job of screening Berthume, but he's been around a while. He knows how to handle those situations.
Berthume had a record of 86, 90, and 20 in the ECHL, and you see his save percentage at 93%. That's why he's the #1 goalie in the ECHL this year with a 2.08 goals against average. Aaron Gates skates behind his net. Wants to bring it to center ice and does for Troy Lake. Lake will try to get there in a hurry. The Titans a 3-1 lead in early shots. 15 minutes to play. We've only played 5 minutes here in this first period, but a giveaway. Williams gives it away, and a back pass goes to Canto, and he almost pulled the trigger. It was broken up nicely by the Titans defense.
Campo let the puck slip off the heel of his stick and never got good wood to it. That was a golden opportunity that he missed right there.
Well, you hate to see the puck being given away in your own end. And Campo almost had a chance at an uncontested shot, but good recovery by File and Company to break him up.
Well, it was almost a 2-on-1. Campo did a little give and go. When he got the puck back, it was a little close to the heel of his stick, a little bit in his skates, and couldn't quite get a good shot off.
6th of 9 meetings, and you see that Roanoke has a 3-2 lead. And the next game will be in February at Roanoke. Roanoke has won the 2 meetings here at Sovereign Bank Arena this year. J.F. Tremblay. Ooh, upended. We could get a call, and we're going to get a trip here against the Titans. It wasn't too hard to pick that one up.
No, that was an easy one.
You know, it has been said that the Roanoke players like to take the dive from time to time to try to draw the penalties because they are the #1 team in the ECHL as far as being on the power play. But really, this one is kind of easy to pick out.
Mick, did you say he embellished that?
No, No, I don't think
Not on that.
Don't start that embellished stuff. That was last week in the other league.
No, that was obvious. That was no doubt about it.
So Vince Williams,
He'll sit 2 minutes.
first penalty of the night. A Trigen Energy power play here for Roanoke. Mike Perron out there with Del Monte. And Schuster comes back to the point for Calvin Elfring. Elfring goes up for Del Monte. Beyond Del Monte will let the shot go and is sticked aside by Amadowski.
Bouillard just got a piece of his left toe on that one.
Roanoke, one of the top teams in the ECHL on the power play. They connect at about 19%. Here's the drive on Amadowski. Right there is Del Monte and let it go with players in the crease.
Bouillard did a great job making that save because there were a few guys right in front screening Amadowski. You take a look at the penalty kill. The Titans are 7th in the league in penalty killing so far this year. Doing a fair job. And Coach Cassidy mentioned before the game he's happy with that part of the team play. And he had to be happy right there with that save by Amadowski. He came out, broke down the angle, and smothered the shot with the big chest and the glove in front of him.
Iran will take this draw against Mike Hall for the Titans, and Hall wins it, gets it back to Eric Brulé. Brulé just winds around the boards, but it doesn't come out. Harmer kept it in momentarily, and we almost had a breakaway by Cale McLean, but he couldn't control at center ice. Dion Del Monte backs up to his own blue line with Calvin Elfring. As there's 1 minute and 16 seconds left in the power play for Roanoke. Dwayne Harmer, an all-star defenseman, goes on the offensive and takes a check in the near corner. Elfring throws it back to Ben Schuster, who's the leading goal scorer on this team with 17 this season. Elfring throws it in front, kicked out by Brulé as it never got to Amadowski. 51 seconds left on the man advantage. Perron backhander right in the slot. Going over top of the net is Dwayne Harmer. Big shot by Harmer, but it went a little too far upstairs, Pete.
I was just about to say the Titans are doing an excellent job other than the one shot from the point that Bouillard stopped easily. They've done a good job of keeping the express to the perimeter, and then right there that shot came from about 20 feet out directly in the slot. For the Titans' sake, thank God it was high.
DiFrancesco's pass broken up momentarily. Troy Lake will keep it alive. He winds it around the board for Schwer. Shervin doing a nice job of keeping the puck out of harm's way, but the Express pick it up. Here's a backhander, and it goes wide off the stick of Troy Lake. 5 seconds left in the man advantage. Harmer rolls it to the net, kicked out by Amadowski. Centering pass went off the side of the net. Lake throws it in front, but nobody's home, and Harmer has the puck as Williams is back. The man advantage is over. And this will be Williams picking up the puck, and he gets it ahead to Bob Thornton. Gives it back to Williams. Another break shot. Hit the post. Oh, Williams hit the far post.
Williams had just come out of the penalty box, skated to his own blue line, and was able to pick up that pass going in, almost on a breakaway. But Bethune did not give him much to shoot out, and he banged it off the side post.
And Bethune held his ground nicely, but Thornton bidding for his first goal in a Titans uniform. Cam White goes back and just rolls around the board, but Sabo keeps it in. His shot almost directed in front, redirected by Tremblay. And Amadowski just got a piece of it.
Good save by Bouillard. Again, threw his screen, went down, stuck out the right leg, and made the save.
Sabo behind his own net, gives up. Here comes a 3-on-3, which gets derailed at the red line by the Titans. Now Keith gives up a pass to Witchurch. His pass goes right to the slot. Shot, wide off the stick of Mando. So Mando and Witchurch almost worked their magic as we're still scoreless with 11:24 to go here in the first period. Mike Perron on the backhand, broken up by two Titans, and it's picked up by Sergei Skrobot. Skrobot plays ahead, nice rink-wide pass to Jed Witchurch. Witchurch on the forehand, broken up with the blue line, and it comes back to neutral ice for Perron, comes back 2-on-2. Mike Perron skates in the slot, tried to roll through for Lake, but he was broken up. And Mike Hall has it. 10:57 to go here in the scoreless first period. McLean and Hall out there with Witchurch, and the play just offside. We have 10 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the scoreless first period with Roanoke and Trenton. Hope you enjoy the action tonight from Sovereign Bank Arena. Stay with us right here on CN8. We come back. There is Dan Berthume, but you found out just a second ago that the pipe was the goaltender's best friend as Williams broke in almost all alone.
Good pass, good shot. You hear that ping right off the goalpost.
Goaltender's best friend sometimes is the pipe.
Sometimes, most of the time.
And Williams, bidding for his first goal of the season, was just inches away from it. Scoreless game here with 10 minutes, 52 seconds to go in the first period. Mike Hall on the faceoff wins it for Trenton, and Eric Brulé will just dump it in. Martin Servant rolls it behind the net. McLean will dig in the corner. Aaron Gates broke up. It rolls to Servant in front, and his short side attempt blocked nicely by Berthume.
Servant had 2 shots at that. The first one, Berthume made the save. The rebound popped right back to him. He tried a second one, but again, Berthume shows why he's a veteran. He made the second save just as easily.
Here comes Mike Hall out with Martin Servant. Hall carries across the line, leaves it for Servant. His shot was never really taken as it got broken up at the circle, and now it lines behind the net. Cam White rolls it in the corner, and this puck is deflected, and it comes all the way back in the Trenton end. Roanoke wants a change on the fly, and they're going to get one as White and Brulé will come out of the Trenton zone.
Both teams tonight taking very short shifts, Mick. Minute, 10 seconds, that's it. They're changing them up right away. Jerry
Keefe behind the net. Playing in his first game for the Titans. He was a free agent signing just yesterday. File and Williams on defense. Witchurch back to File, who just throws it back behind the Roanoke net. Bertoli gives up now for Keefe. Oh, shot right in the slot, score! Witchurch on a nice pass from Keefe, and it's 1-0. Well, that puck came right into the slot. You expect the defenseman to have a stick down, but nobody did. And for Jed Witchurch, he finds the net for the 12th time this season.
Well, that's what good goal scorers do. They find an opening, they find an area where they can stand by themselves, where there's no big defenseman bothering them. Jed Witchurch, his 12th goal of the year. He's only 5'9". He can't battle head-to-head with these defensemen. What he does is he hides and he moves and he gets into an open area, watches the play develop from behind the net. He's at the bottom of your screen, backs away from a defenseman, takes a one-time shot. Berthume almost made the save, but the puck trickles over the line, and the Titans strike first.
First point of the year for Jerry Keefe on the assist, and the Titans lead it 1-0. Wayne Harmer will go back in his own zone to pick this puck up. Here's a shot from the point by File, kicked out by Berthume. Tremblay at the red line. Does a nice job of getting the puck to DeFrancisco, but it was slightly behind him, and here comes Bertoli. Bertoli stops and waits for a little help near the blue line. Gives up now for Witchurch, who's back on after the goal. Witchurch to Bertoli, who throws it back to Leakett Anderson. Here's a shot, score! Leakett Anderson! Oh, what a rocket by Leakett. It finds the back of the net. It's 2-0 Trenton.
Leakett Anderson did not wind up and take the booming slap shot, but instead took a wrist shot. But the reason why that whole play worked was because of the good work in the corner, the pressure, the forechecking, and also Leakett Anderson used the defenseman as a screen. That shot went right through Tremblay's legs. Berthume never saw it, and it beat him to the short side. Watch as the pass comes from the side, right between the legs there, up over the right shoulder of Berthume. He had no chance at all, and the Titans jump out to a quick 2-0 lead again. A quick wrist shot through the legs of Tremblay, and the cords in the back of the net bulge.
Like you say, he held on to it and then took a rifle wrist shot and finds the net for Leakett, his 5th goal of the season. And the Titans lead it by a score of 2-0 as the goals come just seconds apart. So the Titans lead it by a score of 2-0 with 8 minutes, 39 seconds to go here in this first period. Bertoli and Witchurch get the assist on the goal by Anderson.
And for Anderson, that's his 5th of the year. And that's one of the things Coach Cassidy said. We need our defensemen to be more involved. We need our defensemen to join the play, and that time he did. He crept in to about 40 feet out, just beyond the top of the circle, and let a beautiful shot go.
And Witchurch and Bertoli each with 2 points already in this game. We still have 8:30 to play in the first period as the Titans lead it 2-0. Todd Fedoruk stood up at the red line, just dumps it into the Roanoke end. DJ Mando gets there momentarily. Now here come the Express. Beyond Del Monte. Gives up for Calvin Elfring, who will skate it out. Wide pass for Del Monte. Full head of steam coming across the line. Broken up nicely there by Leakin Anderson. And now the puck picked up by Ben Schust. Schust rolls it through the slot, but nobody home. Here come the Titans. Here's a drive by Mando, but it goes well behind the net. Mando, back pass to the near circle, picked up by Mike Hall. Hall, backhander, easily stick aside by Bethune.
Nick, don't be surprised if the Titans start throwing a lot more shots here. 2 went in. They were both good shots, tough saves for Bethune, but now he might be a little edgy. He might be second-guessing himself. The philosophy now is just keep firing the puck.
Well, the puck tied up behind the net. We have a stoppage with 7:29 to go here in this first period, as you get a good look there at David Froh, who's playing only in his 3rd game tonight, just called up.
Froh comes to the bench for a well-deserved rest. Bethune, he might be feeling a little bit. Like I said, he's been off since last Saturday or Sunday was probably the last time the Express played. And the trip up here, they had a little time to rest. They probably came up yesterday. But even at that, now you have to put your game face on, your game skates on to be able to play.
Well, Amadovsky covers up. Well, with a stoppage, a chance to tell you that now's your opportunity to experience all of the action and excitement from the best seats in the house at Sovereign Bank Arena. You can become an Inner Circle Club member and enjoy a host of special amenities, including VIP parking, private concourses. You also have 2 club bar and grill areas. An exclusive club seat member gets to see the nonstop action of the Titans, and you also have the opportunity to experience every star-studded show right here at Sovereign Bank Arena. 609-656-3270, the number to call to become a member.
Well, this is just an outstanding building and an outstanding organization. People should really take the time to come to the Sovereign Bank Arena and watch a game. They won't be disappointed.
And really not a bad seat in the house.
Not at all. In fact, the next game is tomorrow night. They play against Hampton Roads here at 7:30.
Oh, nice little winning streak to get the home fans fired up before the Titans go on the road for 20 games of the final 33 away from Sovereign Bank Arena, so time is running out to see the Titans. Here they lead at 2-0 with 6 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first period. Martin Servin has it glance off his skates, and it goes the length of the ice. This is an icing call against Trenton.
That might be the first or second icing we've had this evening. Both teams playing pretty much controlled hockey, but something that was mentioned to us before the game, that the Express like to just dump the puck out of the zone. You would think they would be guilty quite a few times this game, and we haven't seen it yet tonight, but when your strategy defensively is just to bang the puck off the glass, just get it out of your zone, many times the result is an icing.
Well, the Titans getting goals about 42 seconds apart to take a 2-0 lead here in this first period, but Dwayne Harmer, an all-star, has it at the point, puts it on his backhand, tries to roll it in to Amadovsky, but it's picked off by Witchurch. And now the puck just flipped to center ice. Williams and File on the blue line now, and there's the whistle as this puck will come face off back to the other end.
I tell you, Mick, I really like these uniforms. This is the first time we had a chance to see the black uniforms. Usually the home team wears the white, but as I mentioned earlier, during the midpoint, the team switch and wear their darker color uniforms home, and that's a sharp-looking jersey. Amadovsky, now his black helmet matches his jersey. Last game you got mad because I said his face mask and helmet combination was a little dull looking. It didn't match the white, but with the black, it looks great.
Bertoli started tonight with 24 points. He already has 2 tonight on 2 assists.
And that's the same way Bethune started the first period, was catching a puck just like that out of the air. And he did it again.
6 minutes and 2 seconds to play here in this first period, but Bethune's already let 2 go by. Take a look at Bertoli, and you'll see that the current streak is at 8 games. Brad Dexter, South Carolina, also has an 8-game scoring streak, so one of the hottest players in the league right now is Scott Bertoli for the Trenton Titans. Back to the point. Ooh, Skrobot's drive just goes wide. And Leakin Anderson back to center ice to pick it up. Titans want to change, and they'll just dump it in. Keefe is out there with Witchurch. Anderson goes back to center ice to pick up the loose puck, and now Skrobot has it go off his stick. Witchurch, Keefe, and Bertoli. That line accounting for all the goals here in this first period. See if they can work their magic again. Skrobot behind the net, run off the play by Dion Del Monte. Down Del Monte goes in the corner, gets the puck free, but the Express will keep it in. Ozorowski can't control in his own slot. Here comes Witchurch, gets it ahead to Keefe, who just sends it on its way. Harmer gives up for Schweier. And now Harmer takes it back and rolls it into the Trenton end as the Express want to change. Perron out there, hit pretty hard by Williams. File will pick it up. Now it goes back behind the net. Here is right in front. Oh, you got bodies all over the place, and Abadovsky just sits on the puck ahead of the red line, so the light never goes on. We have a timeout with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in this first period as the Trenton Titans lead it by a score of 2-0. Stay with us. The action, heavy hitting here on CN8. Pete Perron will raise his stick, but no goal on this play.
Oh, not at all. Here you see some of the action, some of the commotion right in front of the net. Boom, right there. Notice the puck is not in. It's under the glove, plus the net gets dislodged. Between those two actions, that's why referee Craig Hansen said, not this time.
Well, Bouillard right there as he had players storming the net, Ben Schust and also Mike Perron.
And that takes a lot of concentration because you have to watch the puck, but there's no way you can't see a 200-pound guy falling on you.
Still, it's 2-0 Trenton. Oh, they almost able to spring away for Doric.
Puck bounced off his skate, otherwise he would have been in.
Here comes Schust. He's broken up momentarily. And here is DJ Mando, who gets it back to center ice. David Froh picks it up, and I think we have a high stick coming up. But I think the puck was just knocked down with a high stick, and that's the whistle.
Correct. The puck was played above the height of 4 feet. That's the rule. You cannot play the puck if it's above the height of 4 feet. You cannot strike it with your stick. If you or a teammate are the next person to play it, the whistle blows. There you see Coach Cassidy shouting some instruction to his players.
Coach Cassidy has to be happy. He has a 2-goal lead here. And usually when his team jumps out to a first period lead, they're very successful. Titans 11-0-1 when they lead after one period. They still have 4:18 to go here. Abadovsky a save and a follow-up by Ozorowski goes over the net. Express with the puck. J.F. Tremblay tries to play back to the far wing, and the Titans will be able to clear. And this will be an icing against Trenton. Now, Coach Cassidy told us before the game, Pete, that he doesn't really like to see his players ice the puck that much, but here they're taking a little pressure off of Bouillard Abadovsky.
Well, it depends on the situation. If you need that break, you need to get a line change out there, maybe you have the wrong combination. They have your strong line and you need to get your checking line out there, then maybe you'll look for a whistle anyway, and the easiest way obviously is to ice it. But you try to play more control hockey. Coach Cassidy said you really don't develop a player if you teach him just to bang the puck off the glass or off the boards to get it out of the zone. You want to teach him proper breakout skills, you want to teach him control of the puck.
Hall on the face-off with Perron, and it is controlled by the Titans. Picked up, and here comes Cale McLean. McLean across the blue line, it's onside. Try to give it back to Hall, but he's broken up. And now Hall takes it back at center ice. Travis Smith picks up the loose puck. Smith stood up at the blue line. Good job by Martin Servant to knock him off his base. And Hall sends McLean away, but he's really on an odd man rush the other way. Gives up for Brule. It was a 1-on-2 situation. Now Hall sees it go through his skates, back to White, rolls it to the net, and the glove save there by Bethune. Oh, little extracurricular activity going on in the slot.
Again, players rushing to the net that time. A few of the Titan players coming in late, and McLean pays the price for it. Watch the shot by Cam White, not particularly hard. Berthiaume again using that big left glove as he's done so often tonight. Just makes the easy save.
Jed Witchurch opened the scoring. Leake and Anderson followed, and that's the 2 goals tonight for the Trenton Titans as they lead it 2-0 with 3:20 to go here in this first period. And the Titans going to come out with a fresh line of Witchurch, Keith, and Bertoli. That's the line that has been on for the 2 goals tonight.
That line has played very well. Other than Bertoli, the other 2 guys have quite a bit of time here in the ECHL.
Across the line, Deon Del Monte. Nice pass off the boards. It goes in the slot to Ben Schust. Try to return pass, but nobody at the point. That's picked up by Witchurch. He's broken up, and it comes back the other way in a hurry. Witchurch will pick this one up in his own blue line. Tried to set up Keith in the neutral zone. Ben Schust has it at the blue line, and they're going to call a hand pass on Ben Schust. He kind of dropped it, and it rolled forward, and then it's picked up by a teammate, and that's why it'll come back outside the zone. Look at the scene, a little hand pass there, because nobody touched it.
Exactly. So if he played it himself, you can feel the puck in the air, shoot as he did, and throw it down. As long as he or an opponent plays it, it's okay. But a teammate picked it up. They got an advantage from the redirection with the hand. That doesn't work. Immediate whistle.
It's a good call.
Absolutely.
Titans still lead it 2-0, and you see that he has 8 power play goals of his 17, those Ben Schust this year. Kitchener, Ontario product, just 22 years old. Out there with DeFrancisco and Troy Lake. But the Titans control the draw. At center ice, Dwayne Harmer retreats in his own end. Now Sergei Skrobot. A little pirouette, serving. Rink wide pass here for McLean. McLean tries to turn the corner, still has control. Now ridden off the play by Aaron Gates. Picked up from behind by Mike Hall. Still has it on his stick. Hall right in front. And now Lake's going to get there first. Good hit behind the glass there by Hall. Or McLean, I beg your pardon. 2:09 to play here in this 2-0 first period for Trenton.
And first McLean absorbed the check, and then he delivered one.
Here's McLean. Always hangs on to the puck till he finds somebody open. Back to Anderson, but it's broken up en route to the net. And the puck splits Anderson and Skrobot. They have to go back to pick it up. Both teams want to change, and Leakett's taking his time looking for somebody to come off the bench.
And Harmer, the fellow who deflected that puck, limped back to the bench. It wasn't a particularly hard shot, but it must have caught him in an area where the pad is a little bit away from the leg, because it caught him right on the side of the leg, and he limped off slowly.
Well, you hate to see Dwayne Harmer go down. He's an all-star defenseman. One of the better defensemen here in the ECHL this season. Berthiaume behind the net. But taken off the stick there by Mando. Finally picked up by the Express and Del Monte. Giving a pretty good shot. Elfring has it, puts on the brakes. 1:03 to go in a 2-0 first period for the Trenton Titans as here comes Calvin Elfring. Nice job of stick handling to the blue line, and Karan will just dump it in as the Express wants a change.
Titans have to be careful here. They played a very good first period, have a 2-0 lead. They don't want to do anything foolish and give one away right now.
Almost sent Mando away, and the Express able to break him up. Now Bertoli goes on with Keith and Witchurch. Trying to keep the puck alive. Williams to Witchurch to Keith. Keith comes in, has a man open. Here's Bertoli. Backhand. Big save for Berthiaume.
Great save by Berthiaume. Followed the puck the whole way. Went from his right to his left, stacked the pads, and denied Bertoli from about 3 feet away.
Keith has a broken stick. He'll be replaced as the Express have the puck. And Sabo comes across the line, lets it go. It went off the pad of Amadowski in the final 2 seconds. And that's the way this first period's going to come to a close. The Trenton Titans with goals by Jed Witchurch and Leake Anderson lead by a score of 2-0 over the Roanoke Express after the first 20 minutes. And it was a pretty tough period for Bethune.
He played well. He got beat twice, but he made 2 or 3 other stops that were spectacular. The score can easily be 4 or 5 in favor of the Titans.
Well, you saw the skill why he's the #1 goalie in the ECHL. He gives up 2 goals a game. Well, maybe that's the limit for him tonight. The Titans lead it by a score of 2-0 as we have played the first period here at Sovereign Bank Arena. Once again, Witchurch from Keefe and Bertoli at 10:28, and then Leakett Anderson at 11:10 from Bertoli and Jed Witchurch as well. Now don't forget, coming up at our intermission, Ken Adelberger will be talking to head coach Bruce Cassidy, and we'll also have stats and highlights and that mid-season report card, if you will, from Coach Cassidy just around the corner. Right now, let's go downstairs to Ken Adelberger, who's standing by with Scott Gordon, the head coach of the Express.
Thanks very much, Mick. Scott, I guess the numbers from a Titan standpoint anyway, what you gave them, what you gave up, just a little bit too much wide open, too far wide open than you'd like.
Well, I think the biggest thing is we're not eliminating any people in all 3 zones. Defensively, nobody's getting taken out of the play, and offensively, we're fishing for the puck instead of playing them in.
Scott, got to go and make some adjustments, guys. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, the interview with Scott Gordon brought to you by Powerade, the official drink of the Trenton Titans. We've played 1 period as Trenton leads the Express by a score of 2-0. Stay with us right here on CN8. Tonight's first intermission is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers. Toyota, real values every day. Well, here at Sovereign Bank Arena, after the first period, the Trenton Titans lead Roanoke by a score of 2-0. And standing by right now downstairs with Ken Adelberger is the head coach, Bruce Cassidy. Ken?
Thanks, Mick, very much. We are a little bit beyond the halfway point, so it's a good opportunity for us to sit down with the head coach and talk a little bit about what's transpired thus far and to look ahead a little bit. And Bruce, as you do take a look back at the first 30-plus games, what kind of numbers jump out at you as you look up and down the stat sheet?
Well, the number I notice most is our goals against. I think it's in the top third of the league. I think it's very good for a team that hasn't played a lot together. Being an expansion team, we've got a lot of new faces that didn't know each other until September rolled around or October. So pleased with that. Very pleased with the penalty kill. I think we're up in the top 5 in the league. So team defense is good. We've got some good young players that have put up good offensive numbers, and obviously Bouillard with his goals against and save percentage is one of the best in the league. So very pleased with those numbers, and if the power play can just catch up to our penalty kill in the second half, I think we'll be a very good special teams team.
You look up and down the roster and some of the players that have been putting the numbers up for you. Let's call this like our ink spot type of psychiatrist test, if we would. I'll mention a player's name, and you give me about 20, 25 seconds, whatever that player you think has done for you, surprise-wise, numbers-wise, so on and so forth. And the first guy we're going to start with is the guy who's a rookie in this league this year, Mark Murphy. Incredible numbers, huh?
Wish he was here. He got called up today to Scranton, and he was being rewarded for his great first half. And he's been very tenacious, great work ethic, putting up great offensive numbers. I can't say enough good things about him. Only thing I could say maybe if he was a little more consistent defensively. which every young player learns as it goes along. So he will learn that. He's very coachable. He's going to be a good one, and we may never see him again. I know that if he goes up and puts up numbers like he has here, then it's bye-bye and welcome to the American League for Mark Murphy, because he's been really, really consistent and really good for us all year.
Another guy that you'd hate to see depart for any reason, Buyar Amadovsky in goal.
Well, Buyar has been consistent. I think that's the best thing you can say about him. He's very, very rarely does he let in a soft goal. He had a couple of games there where he struggled a bit in one weekend, but other than that, he's been there for us every night. He's a battler. He's a guy that loves to win, home or away, and a great guy in the room. He's the, I don't want to say he's the heart and soul of our team, but if we had to pick one player, I think he would be it.
Jed Witchurch.
Lots of energy. Jed, he scoots on the ice. He's a talker off the ice. Good to have those guys in the locker room. Lots of energy. Put up some good numbers for us the first half offensively. He's just a guy that you can't put him down. He's a small guy that's had a battle all his life to get ahead in terms of hockey, and he's done it again here. He's a guy at training camp we thought, well, is he going to make the club? We had a lot of pretty good centermen we thought here, but he beat them all out of a job, and good for him.
How about a guy who's really put it together just in the last half dozen games or so, Scott Bertoli?
Bert's, he's a good pro. I guess the first thing that comes to mind, because he shoots well, he sees the ice well, he does his own job in the D zone, goes up and down his wing, very accountable. He's just got to sort of have confidence that he can score goals in the second half. I think the first 20 games he didn't want to shoot the puck. He had no confidence that he could score, and he was trying to look to pass all the time, and that's changed lately. So he's a guy that should give us even more offense the second half.
Let's take a look ahead now at what remains, the 30-plus games or so that you still have to play the second half of the season, if you will. What kind of things must you accomplish? What kind of things do you have to work on to get this team into the postseason, ultimately where you want to be?
Well, we have to win on the road. We've got more games on the road than we do at home the second half, and we have to learn to win on the road, and it's something I think we'll be okay with. We've got a younger team that's pretty much stuck together all year, with the exception of a few call-ups here and there. We haven't had a revolving door in the room, so hopefully the guys will play for one another. To win on the road, you have to stick together and be a team, and I'm looking forward to that, to see if we've matured into that type of team, because we do have a lot of young guys that are going to have to continue their progress, and a few of the older guys are going to have to step up and have a better second half.
Coach, good luck. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
More intermission activities to come from Sovereign Bank Arena right here on CN8. Stay with us. And welcome back, everybody. A productive first period for the Trenton Titans. They have a 2-0 lead over Roanoke after one. And welcome back to our intermission studio. Ken Adelberger here, along with the ECHL scoreboard. 11 other games on the docket tonight. Let's bring them to you. The ECHL scoreboard is brought to you by the Trenton Orthopedic Group, the official orthopedic group of the Trenton Titans. We take you right away to Birmingham. The Bulls hosting the Tiger Sharks. Not much you can say about this one. They're early on in that one, and you see the score. Mississippi, the Seawolves, third worst winning percentage on the road. They are on the road, taking on the Dayton Bombers at the Nutter Center, where the Bombers hope to reverse a 2-game losing skid. Pensacola on the road tonight. They're playing pretty good hockey. They've won 3 straight, including 10 wins on the road, and they are going to have a tough road battle tonight because the Florida Everglades just have 28 wins. That's a East Coast League best, and they have won 8 of their last 10. Peoria, the Rivermen, they are the hottest team in the Coast League right now, come in with 6 straight victories. They also have 10 road wins, and they're looking for win number 11 against that. Could be a fairly easy opponent tonight. The Greensboro Generals have just 7 wins at home and a North Conference low 13 wins on the season. The Wheeling Nailers are at Hampton Roads tonight. The Admirals 15-5-1 on home ice, and you may remember the name John Brophy, the former tough guy coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, coaching the Hampton Road Admirals as he has done for the past few years. The Nailers and Admirals, there you see it. The Arkansas Riverblades, they are in last place in the Southwest Division, have a league low 7 wins. They're taking on the Louisiana Ice Gators tonight. They have won 5 straight. That start a bit later on. Jackson, the Bandits, they trail Mobile by 2 points in the Southwest Division, and they're actually a better road team than they are when they are at home. They are in Mobile tonight, so they're looking up to make up some ground. How about the Mystics? 167 goals for this year. That is a Coast League best. The Lizard Kings, always love that name. They're in New Orleans tonight, taking on Ted Saters, the Brass. The Johnstown Chiefs have been playing winter tie hockey of late, 5-1-4 in their last 10 in Richmond, where the Richmond Renegades are just 4 points behind Roanoke. The opponent tonight here in Trenton. So a little scoreboard watching going on there. The Charlotte Checkers, the only team in the Coast League not to score at least 100 goals thus far. They got 98, so they could get over that 100, the century mark here tonight. They're barely hanging on to the last playoff spot in the Southwest Division are the South Carolina Stingrays. They are the home standers tonight, taking on the Checkers. And rounding out the ECHL scoreboard tonight, the Blizzard and the Storm. Now that seems like a game that would have been better off played yesterday. Huntington Blizzard, Toledo Storm. Toledo has 2 wins in their last 10. No PD on the schedule tonight. Sorry, fans. Maybe next time. That is the look at the Coast League scoreboard, brought to you by the Trenton Orthopedic Group. Now we want to take a look at the standings in the Northeast Division. That is where Roanoke resides, and they are on top in the division. Hampton Roads and Richmond right behind. There's Trenton kind of in the catbird seat, trying to pick up some ground, kind of looking ahead and not so much looking behind. The Trenton Titans, of course, have won 1 straight, and they have completed 1 period of play here tonight. And a pretty productive period it was. 2-0, Trenton over Roanoke, and isn't that cute? Hey, what's in that bottle anyway? I don't know. We'll find out a little bit later. Once again, it is 2-0 Trenton on top of Roanoke here at Sovereign Bank Arena. When we return, Mick and Peter have all the first period highlights and analysis that you'll want to know. Stay tuned. You're watching Trenton Titans hockey right here on CN8. I never saw, I don't know, because we got to go through the return here, and I was seeing me in the monitor the whole time. I didn't make any mention of scores, that's all.
Welcome back to Sovereign Bank Arena. After the first period, the Trenton Titans leading Roanoke by a score of 2-0. Well, Pete Caggiano, we said earlier tonight that Scott Bertoli is having a great year. We talked about him in the Open tonight. He's also scored points now in 8 consecutive games. He mentioned that he played with Hall and McLean, but now 2 new line mates tonight, and great results again.
He hasn't missed a step. Early in the year with Hall and McLean, now with Witchurch and Keith. And Keith is the new fella the Titans just signed yesterday, making an impact already.
Now let's take a look at our first period highlights, and you'll see this line with big results early as Witchurch lights the lamp.
Well, great pass from the side, but Witchurch also backing up, lets the shot go as he gets out of trouble, out of harm's way, to the side of the net, and then lets a one-timer go for the 1-0 lead.
And then Leakin Anderson scoring from the point as the defenseman gets his 5th of the year.
Great shot, goes right between the legs of Tremblay, up over the shoulder of Bertholli. That gives the Titans a 2-0 lead. Again, the play started on the pass from the corner. Good work.
But Bertholli did have one big save as he stones Bertoli, who's breaking in.
Well, here again, this pass comes from Keith. Watch Bertoli, forehand, backhand coming up right here. Big save as he slid with both legs and his chest to block that shot. Bertoli's on fire. That could have been a goal right there.
No doubt about it. The Lions playing really well. You take a look at our first period stats, and you'll see that the Titans had the edge in shots, but the big one, scoring chances. 9 good chances to just 3.
Well, the only reason why the score is not more than 2 is Bertholli, but everything else pretty even down the road. Only 1 power play, so not too much of a physical game tonight.
All in all, Bertholli has really stood tall, and like we said, he's the best goalie in the ECHL. He's already given up 2. That's his average. We'll see if the Titans can get a few more as the game goes along. 2-0 at the end of the first period. Stay with us. Second period action coming up in just a moment right here on CN8. Tonight's Titans game is brought to you by First Union. Let us be your guide to the financial world. And by your local Tri-State Toyota dealer. Toyota, real values every day. And by U.S. Airways, the official airline of the Trenton Titans. Well, welcome back to Sovereign Bank Arena. Let's go downstairs now to Ken Allenberger, who's standing by with assistant coach Mike Haviland. Ken.
Thanks, Mick, very much. Yeah, just some reflections of a fine first period. Is that one of the picture-perfect first periods of the season thus far?
I would think so. We had a real good first period. We were moving our legs. We moved the puck well, and obviously we got 2 goals. So it was one of our better ones of the season. Does Roanoke have any particular vulnerable points where you can really attack and have the success that you want? I think down low. I think that we got some bigger forwards. They got some smaller defensemen. So I think down low, if we get the puck down low, I think we can work them well in behind their net, and and then take the puck to the net.
Mike, thanks for the time very much. Mick, Peter, back up to you guys.
All right, thanks very much, Ken. There is Leakin Anderson, who has already picked up his 5th goal of the year. And Pete, scoring goals just 42 seconds apart, that really is something the Titans haven't had this year.
Well, that gives a momentum builder for your team and obviously crushes the other team because, all right, you gave up 1, now you gave up another one. And that second goal by Anderson was just spectacular as he used Tremblay as a screen.
And Pete, take a look. When the Trenton Titans lead after 1 period, they are 11-0-1. And the Express, when they lead after the first, 17-0-1. So these teams get a lead and know how to play with a lead all season long.
Well, it's definitely true for the Titans. As we have said all along, they're a great defensive team. So when they do put a few pucks in the net, it's very easy for them to hold on.
Well, Coach Cassidy knew coming in that Roanoke was rested. As a matter of fact, Roanoke 21-0. It's 20 wins, 1 loss, and no ties in a game that is preceded by a day off. So if they could beat Roanoke tonight, that really kind of upset the apple cart a little bit.
That's an amazing statistic. To be able to say you have only lost one game out of 21 when you had a night off the day before, that's outstanding.
Masters and Del Monte to take the draw, and the Titans control it. Fedoric, Masters, and also Bob Thornton start this second period. Williams gets back in a hurry as the shot is deflected up and over Booyar Amanovsky. Here is Ben Schust. Schust, nice pass and a good skate save by Amanovsky.
Well, not only was it a skate save, the shot was taken with the skate. I'm sure if that went in, it wouldn't even count.
Redirection here, and Booyar just kicks it aside. Some hitting going on early here in the second period. Masters almost sent away at center ice. Now it's picked up by Fedoric. Todd Fedoric, 3-on-2, leaves the pass. Oh, the shot hit Fedoric as he was going toward the net. J.F. Tremblay plays to center, and Eric Brulé will go back as both teams change.
Again, only about 50 seconds in, both teams making that quick change. Express came out here in the second period smoking. They took it right to the Titans. Booyar had to be sharp on that save.
Now the Express came in #1 in the division, 25-9-4 on the season. Here is a pass to DeFrancesco, shot, score! Just like that, Paul DeFrancesco nets his 11th of the season, and we have a 1-goal game as we're just underway here in period number 2.
That's what happens sometimes when it's the third player coming into the zone. Titans did a great job picking up the first 2 players, but the third player, DeFrancesco, trailed the play. He came into the zone late. There you see Booyar shaking his head. He knows he should have had that one. It wasn't that tough of a shot, and it just went right through. There's the pass. It comes all the way across. Quick shot. Can't tell. It might have beat him right between the legs. Again, you're going to see the 2 players for the Express to the left, but the third player entering the zone, yep, beat Amadovsky right between the legs through the 5-hole. And now all that momentum, all that energy you had in the first period is now you're almost back to neutral because it's only a 1-goal game.
DeFrancesco gets the goal. Todd Campo gets the assist. The time, 1 minute and 9 seconds.
As I mentioned, Mick, it looked like the Express were coming out smoking right from the opening faceoff in the second period, and they did a nice job of drawing both Titan defensemen to one side, and then the third player coming into the play made a perfect shot.
Williams gives chase. Now Witchurch joins the fray, and Ozorowski comes back the other way. 3-on-2, but the play is offside because Schweier fell down at the blue line and couldn't keep his edge. But there's DeFrancesco, who picks up his 11th goal, and now he has 20 points on the season.
DeFrancesco, great shooter. And that play, again, not winding up for the big slap shot, but rather looking for an opportunity, looking for a hole to hit. Coach Gordon very happy with his play so far this year and has to be happy with that shot.
I was happy to have DeFrancesco, who played in Italy last season. Mike Perron will take this draw for Roanoke against Chris Masters of the Titans. Masters, Mando, and Fedoric out there for the Titans. Ozorowski, Perron, and Todd Campo. The line out there for Roanoke. Mando wants to play ahead for Fedoric, who's on loan from the Philadelphia Phantoms, and it comes back to center ice. Now Sergei Skrobot finds Fedoric just outside his own blue line. Wants to keep things going. But it's broken up, and it comes back into the Trenton end. Titans lead it by a score of 2-1. We've just started play here in period number 2. Rick wide pass too far ahead of Fedoric, and play continues. Ozorowski tries to deflect it out of his zone and can't. Skrobot keeps it on its way as it goes behind the net. And this puck finally picked up by Fro. Del Monte fanned on it at center ice. Titans just rolling in the zone, but nothing happening. And this puck will be shot the length of the ice, and there's an icing against Roanoke. Well, we heard that Roanoke will ice the puck a lot tonight. That's exactly what they've done. The defensemen really don't carry out too much, although they do have 2 all-stars.
Well, what they try to do, if there's not a wing open at the point where they can pass it to right away, they play it safe rather than sorry. Just bang it off the glass get it out of the zone somehow, and that's part of the reason why they're doing so well defensively this year. You mentioned the goals against average. Bertoli with just a little over 2. It's because the defensemen don't make the bad pass in the zone. Rather than try to make a perfect pass, they just get it out.
Well, the Titans have iced it a little more tonight, 3-1, but I think you'll see those numbers kind of flip-flop as the second period goes along. Behind his own net. Here comes Travis Smith. Full head of steam to center ice. Leaves it back at the point for Smith, and it rolls right in on Bouillard-Amadovsky, who makes the sprawling save.
Again, a lot of traffic right in front of Bouillard. Made the first save easily, but again, you have to watch out for the second guy coming into the area. As you take a look at Lake, who did a nice job, Troy Lake.
Well, last year, Lake had 33 points. But now he's getting a chance to play with Smith, who has kind of picked up the pace, scoring a little bit. 16:35 to go here in period number 2. And Servin will backhand this one about 20 rows back in the crowd. Nice catch by a fan, but it was an easy flip.
That was an easy flip. We talked about it before, about when you can try to catch them and when you can't. When they're a high pop, you can go after it. When they're a line drive, leave them alone.
Well, Bouillard-Amadovsky getting himself set for a face-off, which will come back inside the zone.
The Toronto native is just 23 years old, and this past Wednesday night in the All-Star game received the Outstanding Goaltender Award as he faced 13 shots in the third period and allowed just 1 goal.
It's not bad in any All-Star competition. Well, second period so far, the Express out shooting the Titans 5-0, and they've taken the game lead of 14-11. And they have found the net once in the second period as Paul DiFrancesco netted his 11th goal of the season.
2-line pass here. The puck will come back into the Express zone.
Well, Witchurch and the company have played a pretty good first period. See if they can carry it through the period number 2 as Witchurch and Bertoli out there with a new line mate, and Jerry Keefe have racked up the points. Leads the Titans in shooting percentage, does Jed Witchurch. Not a very big guy, but he's very effective.
Well, at only 5'9", 170 pounds, it's going to be tough for him to compete at the next level. He's going to have to get a little bigger and a little heavier. He's going to have to hit the weight room on the offseason.
Express trying to clear the zone. Ozorowski has it, comes out with DiFrancesco. Ozorowski drop pass to the blue line, and Amadovsky just shovels a weak shot wide. Here's a backhander, rolls right in the slot for DiFrancesco, a little too far. Gates takes a drive, and Aaron Gates unloads on Bouillard-Amadovsky, who holds on.
Look how far Amadovsky is outside that net. He's about 4 or 5 feet up ahead in front of the crease to cut down that angle. Good work there by the Express, moving the puck from left to right. That's the tough thing for a goaltender to move, is to move laterally. Gates got off a real good shot there, but Bouillard made the save.
He only has 1 goal this year, does Aaron Gates, but he's bidding for a pretty big one there. We'll see if Bertoli can win this race to the puck. He can't, and it comes all the way back to center ice, where White and Brulé will man the blue line for the Titans. Ozorowski on his backhand just dumps it in as Roanoke wants a change. They trail Trenton 2-1 here in the second period. DJ Mando rolls ahead for Witchurch, who will get in the corner first. Puts on the brakes and trying to sidestep a check. Now Witchurch and Bertoli trying to dig it out. Dion Del Monte shovels it back to the point where Calvin Elfring will pick up and try to skate out. Here's Elfring just rolling it into the far corner. Todd Campo, backhander off the side of the net. J.F. Tremblay broken up momentarily. Tremblay digs it out of the corner, wants to center, comes right on the backhander for Del Monte. Oh, he hit the far side of the post. Just outside of the post by Del Monte. Now Campo broken up, and Bertoli rink wide pass here, and he tried to send Fedoruk away. The play is onside. Lincoln Anderson tries to get there first, but can't.
And Mick, that was the same post that earlier in the first period the Titans hit. So you said that it's goaltender's best friend. Well, now it's both goaltenders' best friend.
No doubt about that. Big hit from behind the net, leveled by Fatorik. It's right in front. Fatorik has it roll off his stick, and Bob Thornton couldn't get a stick down either. And this puck is shot into the crowd. The faceoff stays in the Express end. Well, the action's starting to pick up for the Trenton Titans.
You mentioned Bob Thornton, Manhasset, New York native. Then we take a look at Fatorik.
Now, Fatorik had 1 goal and 1 assist for 2 points this year with the Philadelphia Phantoms before making his way here to Trenton.
Young fellow, only 21 years old. Was actually a 7th round pick of the Flyers back in '97.
Has a goal and no assist here with Trenton. He hasn't seen a lot of action. Not in a Trenton uniform. Well, all the chances for the Express. 4-0. They have kept the pressure on the Titans. See if the Titans can get a shot here as the puck is in the Roanoke end. Serving, can't catch up to it. Leakin Anderson can't keep it in, and here comes the pressure. Now here comes Hall. Hall kind of broken up from behind, gets it back, but has to play back to center. Waiting for everybody to get onside. Skrobot gets it ahead from McLean. McLean comes across the line, takes a shot, but it goes well wide. Leakin Anderson will get there. Still in the corner where Cal McLean gives way to Hall. Hall's backhander, glove save by Bertoli, and Dan holds on.
Oh, that time Hall couldn't quite get him up on the shot. We have a little get together in the corner. I don't think anything will happen there. Both teams now starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Obviously, the Titans now have to do something to counteract the Express. But watch the backhand. As you notice, the stick actually went harder and almost further than the puck. The puck was flipping, and the stick went through the puck rather than getting good wood to the puck and driving it.
So Dan Berthume has kind of picked up his pace in period number 2.
But he hasn't had to do a whole lot. As we mentioned just earlier, the chances have been 4-0 in favor of the Express so far here in the second period.
Big centerman and Mike Perron who's going to take this draw. The faceoffs are even. Servin and Perron on this draw, and the Titans can't control. Now it goes back to the point. The shot goes well wide off the stick of File.
But that's what happens, Mick, when you just dump the puck out of the zone. If there's not a wing there, that defenseman, as File just did, can keep it in and let the shot go.
Bertoli giving chase. And now the puck, picked up by DiFrancesco, but he slips and falls.
That ice could be slippery.
Yes, it can.
Just ask anybody who shoveled their driveway yesterday.
Or even this morning, for that matter. Those high winds, all those drifts going on. Titans want to keep it in. File does. Rolls it into the near circle, but nobody there. And this puck will be cleared the length of the ice, and there's that icing that we're talking about.
And that's what happens. Just get the puck out of the zone. Don't play any games. Help the defenseman, help the goaltender. Just get it out.
Well, we have a timeout here. Trenton Titans lead the Express by a score 2-1 with 12:49 to go here in the second period. Stay with us on CN8.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sovereign Bank Arena. Hey, what a year Daniel Berthiaume has been having thus far. You know, guys, he kind of gets prepared in an awkward way, sits out in the hallway all by himself with all his gear, one lone chair, doesn't join his teammates in the dressing room, gets dressed slowly, meditates, and there's a lot of traffic in that hallway, a lot of rink people back and forth, visiting team walking past him. He focuses it all out, all on the game. Perhaps that's why his numbers are what they are, guys.
Thanks, Ken. I'll tell you, Dan has done a nice job so far tonight in the second period, although he hasn't been tested that heavily. He's made the save when he had to, and you got to keep your team in the game.
And Mick, when I was downstairs before the game, I saw the setup. He has his pads stacked, the pants, his jersey. It's all laid out one after another, and he just takes one step off the chair, and there's every bit of equipment to put on one piece at a time.
2-1 Trenton. with the lead in Roanoke, trying to come out of their own end. And here they come. Brent Ozorowski will shovel this puck ahead as the Express want to change. Cam White levels a hit behind his own net. Now Todd Fedoruk plays through for Chris Masters. Bethune with the save there. An easy roller, and back the other way comes Mike Perron. Lake, Campo, and Perron on this shift. And Aaron Gates will have to go back at his own end to pick it up. Titans really haven't had an explosive chance here so far in period number 2. We're almost halfway done.
The Express has done a very good job tying up the Titans. In fact, earlier before we talked about the style of the two teams, and one thing that the Express does very well is they pick up their man. They do a great job of slowing up the player. Maybe not the booming body check, but enough just to get a piece of the guy, just to get in his way and slow him down.
There's a 3-on-3 developing as Mike Hall wants to roll it into the far wing. Martin Servin puts on a hit. Cal McLean goes in a corner with Mike Perron, but Perron has it behind his own net. Perron wants to come out with Campo. He's broken up with the blue line, but this puck will be picked up and sent in by Aaron Gates. Perron stood up on the far boards, and here comes a 3-on-2 if the Titans can hurry. Sergei Skrobot across the line. The defenseman shoots, and Bethune is there for the save.
A little hugging in front as Servin and the boys went right to the net. Skrobot, again, let the shot go, not particularly hard. Watch him as he takes the pass. Now, quick wrist shot coming up right here. Again, Bethune, a good 4 or 5 feet in front of the crease. Goes down, smothers the shot right into his chest.
Sergei Skrobot, property of the Philadelphia Flyers, native of Moscow, Russia. The chances, Titans with 10, but most of those they had 9 in the first period.
Express has really picked it up here in the second period. Skrobot having a seat there, the USSR native.
On the draw here, Jerry Keefe lost the face-off to Schust. Roanoke out there with his top line with Schust and DeFrancesco. Puck just tied up in the corner. Titans trying to dig it free, and they will have to go all the way back in their own zone to pick this up as Williams will just wind it around the board and see if he can get there first. Witchurch trying to get there, but it's sent back in right on the dasher.
Well, Mick, when you do that, you better make sure you do not hit your own net with that shot. I've seen times when defensemen have fired it around like that and put the puck right on their own goaltender.
2-on-2. Here comes Witchurch on the backhand across the line. Leaves it at the point. Bertoli's drive goes off the blocker of Bethune. And now we have a whistle behind the net as Bertoli goes down. We're going to have a hook. And we'll have a Trigen Energy power play coming up for the Trenton Titans.
Again, good work by the Titans going to the net. Watch some of this action. Good hard slap shot coming up right here. Boom. Bethune makes the save. And there you see the play.
There's the trip as Bertoli in midair will hit the ice. And
it's actually going to be Chris File who's going to sit for the 2 minutes. This is going to be a power play for the Express as as File was crashing the net. He went right at the goaltender trying to create a little havoc or try to go for a rebound, and he pulled down the Express player, and he'll sit 2 minutes for hooking.
Well, I'll tell you, it must have been away from the play because we saw it hook behind the net as Bertoli was taken down, and that one never got called, I guess. Wow.
Well, Coach Cassidy working the gum.
I'd work the gum too.
Said that probably he would be on the short end of a few calls tonight only because the Express, they just have a reputation of having a lot of penalties called in their favor.
Wow. Here's the Trigen Energy power plays tonight. 0 for 1. The Express, they have 3 shots in their attack time, about 1:26. That's not too bad. They're on the power play again. And here is Dwayne Harmer. Drive off the blocker of Amadowski. Troy Lake gives for Campo. Todd Campo back to the point for Dwayne Harmer. Harmer spins away from the defense. Now goes to the net. And Amadowski holds on.
But he wasn't too sure about that.
Neither
Mickey
was
looked
I.
behind him.
I think it was actually caught in the top of his right pad.
Well, it hit the blocker, then kind of went on his arm and then came down inside the top of the right knee pad. But he was a little shaky on that one. Great move by Harmer.
I don't think he ever gets a glove on it, Pete, because I think you'll see the puck kind of lodge right there on the top of the right pad. He kind of looked behind him briefly.
He did look behind. Great move by Harmer on the spin, save, and then he kind of just squeezes his right arm and his blocker against his right leg and holds on for the whistle.
Wow, it was close. Almost tied up the game with a power play goal, and we have a whistle on the draw. And I think Mike Hall's going to get thrown out.
Somebody might have jumped in the circle a little too soon.
Well, they're going to leave Hall in there.
No, you were right. They're going to throw him out.
I thought that he was going to get the toss. And he threw Perron out too. So it'll be Dion Del Monte taking the draw against Cal McLean. And it comes back to the point, kept in by Dwayne Harmer. He almost lost it. Del Monte roughed up by Leakin Anderson, who will clear. So 1:18 left in this Trigen Energy power play, and the Titans still lead it by a score of 2-1. But the Express were just inches away from tying up this game. Here's Del Monte in the near corner, ridden off by Vince Williams. Now Troy Lake hit behind the net. Picked up by Mike Perron. Perron's out of the zone. They'll have to clear. And Hall almost had a break if Perron doesn't shoot it back in.
Hall was looking for it. Hall said, all I have to do is just tip it a little bit past him. I have a full head of steam. I'll be all alone, but not to be.
Calvin Elfring has it behind the net as he skates out of the zone. Both teams will change. It rolls too far ahead of Perron. Cam White gets there first. Titans want to clear, and they will.
Half a minute to go.
27 seconds left in the power play. So Calvin Elfring and Dwayne Harmer, the two all-star defensemen, work the point on this power play for Roanoke. Paul DiFrancesco on one wing, Troy Lake on the other. Amadovsky rolls it past Ben Schust, who couldn't keep it in. Now back to the point for Dwayne Harmer. Harmer broken up by Bertoli, who wants to try to scoot the puck past him, and it comes all the way back into Trenton. And here's Chris Masters. Masters shot, save, rebound save. Masters had a second poke. I don't think a second one was on net, though. But Masters, short-handed, still controlling this puck in the slot. Chris Masters, what a great effort.
I was just about to say what a great pay Elfring made, and then he gave it right away, and Masters almost put one in.
Two players hooked DiFrancesco, no call. But there's a little making up to do after Bertoli's trip was missed behind the net, no doubt about that. Well, power play is over, and the teams are 5 aside. Still 2-1, Trenton with 7:22 to go here in period number 2. Chris Masters having a nice shift. Schweier dumps it in.
And now he's looking to get off.
David Froh just called up to the team, dumps it into Trenton end. Pompo knocked it down momentarily. Here is Witchurch, who has a clear shot coming into the near circle to his backhand. Now drop pass for Servin, and he couldn't control it.
Jed a little too fine on that, made one nice move, cut to the middle, didn't want to let the backhand go, try to set up the third guy coming into the zone. The pass was a little behind him.
6:42, still 2-1 Trenton. Puck frozen on the far boards, and we have the stoppage. Well, we talked about the play shorthanded. The Titans almost got a goal out of it.
Well, there was the giveaway. Comes in, he tried to beat Berthume through the 5-hole between the legs. He squeezed the pads real quick and made the save.
A good effort by Chris Masters. Like we said, pretty good shift there. But Berthume was right there to make the save, and he's showing us why he's the #1 goalie in the ECHL, allowing just 2 goals a game. Take a look at the chances, Pete. 11-7 so far total for the Titans in the game, but the period so far has belonged to Roanoke.
They lead 4-2 in chances here in the second period.
On the draw, the Titans will control. Travis Smith. Nice hit there as the puck harmlessly comes back to center ice. Here's Ben Schust on side, but he lost his footing. Schust. Oh, nice quick shot. And Booyar Amadovsky there for the save, but we shouldn't be surprised because Schust does have 17 goals this year.
Again, Amadovsky going down, kind of losing the puck inside his leg pads there. As you can see, it sticks straight out the pads, and sometimes it gets stuck in. But I tell you, the Titans are very lucky not to have a penalty call. although Schust loses his edge, watch the stick right between the legs there.
That'll help you lose your edge.
That'll help you lose your edge, absolutely.
But no call.
I was trying to give the referee the benefit of the doubt.
It happens.
It's a fraternity.
I know. Pete Caggiano, one of the premier amateur hockey refs in the state of New Jersey. That's why he knows all these rules. Bob Thornton on the draw, controlled momentarily. Now the puck is picked up behind the net. It's right there, and a turnaround by Tremblay, but he never got good wood on it, and Bouillard makes the save. Ooh, little stick came up, could get a penalty here on Mando. It was Mando who kind of sheepishly raised the stick right in the slot and tapped somebody on the helmet, and it might have been Ben Schust, and then he went after the closest Titan player he could find.
That's usually what happens. Anybody in another jersey, they can pay for what just happened to you. As we take a look at Tremblay there, he wishes he could have that opportunity back. He was right on the doorstep, did not get good wood to the shot. Bouillard did a nice job of anticipating, going down, blocking, taking that short side, and did a nice job making the save.
Schust still looking for the guy to hit him in the head. Del Monte will take this draw for Roanoke against Bob Thornton, who just signed days ago with the Trenton Titans. Played with Jackson and Jacksonville earlier this year in the ECHL.
This is his 4th game for the Titans.
Still looking for his first Titans goal. Wayne Harmer's shot goes off the right leg of Bouillard Malowski. 5:56 to play, and a 2-1 Trenton lead here in the second period. Trenton with first period goals from Jed Witchurch and Lincoln Anderson. And Mando has the puck go offside. Rid of the blue glove.
Physical play has really picked up here a little bit.
Talked about Thornton just joining the team. He's a Manhasset, New York product. 29-year-old native. 3rd team in the ECHL this year.
He's bounced around a little bit, looking for a home. He's the kind of guy that when you need that player because some of your other players got called up, he's the guy that usually fills that gap.
Overall, 2 goals and 12 assists for 14 points with those 3 teams for Thornton this year. Here comes Dwayne Harmer. Harmer winds it around the boards for Troy Lake. It's kept in along the boards here by Aaron Gates and Mike Perron, and now it comes back to center as Harmer goes back. And like we said, Pete, 12-5 the shots in this period for the Express. They have carried the play, and here they come again. Harmer rolls it through the slot for Campo, but he never got there. He's ridden off nicely by Lincoln Anderson.
Great play by Lincoln Anderson. Again, you don't have to be real physical and knock guys down. All you have to do is take them off the puck, tie them up so they can't play the puck, and that's exactly what Anderson did.
Here comes Dwayne Harmer, broken up by Skrobot. His back pass goes to the near circle, turnaround off the side of the net by Todd Campo. Campo never really knew where he was going to shoot it. He just got it toward the net and went off the side of the net. Aaron Gates broken up, and here comes Martin Servin with a 2-on-1 break. Servin, closing shot, save Berthume, and he holds on.
Boy, you can't ask any more of Berthume. Again, great save coming out to break down the angle.
Well, the score remains 2-1 Trenton over Roanoke. Stay with us here on CN8. There's Bouillard Malowski, and as we said a few times tonight, the pipes are the goaltender's best friend, and Bouillard getting some help right there.
Right there off the side of the net, off the corner of the post. Again, down early, but covering as much net as possible.
On the draw here, it is Jerry Keefe, but it's controlled by Roanoke. It comes right in the slot. Bertoli, Fanhole, and Witchurch couldn't get the stick down.
He was looking the other way. He wasn't prepared. Nobody thought that puck was coming outside, and it just skipped wide.
Went right through the crease, and nobody was home. Nobody. I don't think Dan Berthume even saw it coming. Jerry Keefe along the near boards trying to get it free. It's picked up by Ozorowski, he plays it back in the Trenton end. Sergei Skrobot, nice pass here. Here comes Bertoli, but a little too far ahead. Schweier just clears the zone.
He didn't hit it hard enough or it would have been an icing.
That's right. Lincoln Anderson takes it away and now throws it to the neutral zone. And Jed Whitchurch's line will go off. Oh, almost a giveaway. And we have a whistle to stop play.
Lincoln Anderson's going to go for a hook, I believe.
It was funny.
Nope, it's not Anderson.
I don't know if it's going to be a hook or an interference call. DJ Mando making his way toward the box. But it looks like it's going to be Todd Fedoruk who's going to go in. It's going to be a hook.
Well, you mentioned almost a giveaway, and Fedoruk had no alternative other than to pull down the Express player, or he would have walked in all alone.
Another look at the giveaway, Pete.
Watch, Bouillard's behind the net. He just circles in front, and he has to hustle because that was a player of the Express going to pick up that loose puck. So that was what you would call a good penalty to take. Some penalties are good to take. That's one right there. You see he has a full head of steam. He has a step on his defenseman, and he's going right after the loose puck.
And right off the draw, it comes in on Bouillard-Amadowski, and Williams has his stick a little bit high with Mike Perron.
Well, there was a sequence earlier, one line shift earlier, where Perron found himself inside the Titan net behind Bouillard's Boo, and there was no call on the play, and he got up awful angry. Coach Cassidy.
Penalty kill. Not bad for the Trenton Titans. They're going to need something here as the Trigen Energy power play is on for the Roanoke Express. Wayne Harmer leaves it right on the blue line for Ben Schust. Schust in the corner as Perron's helmet came off. He's playing without the headgear. Schust holds at the point. Roanoke 0 for 2 on the power play tonight. Oh, we're going to get another trip. File took down Del Monte, and that's going to be the call. And now the Titans will be down for.
Oh, I think this was going to be against Del Monte.
You think so? I don't know.
Well, Perron just went to the box, so we're all wrong.
Maybe they're not watching the same game we're watching.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. But either way, that'll knock out the last 1:30 of the power play. Watch this hit behind the net, boom. Right there is Perron without the helmet. Now watch, coming up right there.
So it was Perron who kind of pulled him down as he had his hand in the air and caught him with a hand and spun him around.
As both players were coming, they're coming right together.
Kind of a retaliatory move after you saw the hit on Perron behind the net.
He got popped pretty good there.
Yes, he did. So the Titans will actually have a power play for 30 seconds when the times go down. Right now, the teams will skate 4 aside.
But this should really open things up because now there's only 4 skaters out there. This is where the, I don't want to say more skilled, but the faster skaters, the players with more deking ability, more finite skills can really excel.
Well, we'll see if the Titans can make a little hay with the open ice. Here comes Lake, ridden off by File, but Lake continues. Now it's poked off his stick by Bertoli, and Witchurch will get there. Witchurch coming out with File and Bertoli 3-on-2. Witchurch comes right up the middle. Rolls it to the net, shot, score! I think it hit the post and dropped straight down in. Bertoli gets the goal, and the Titans lead it by a score of 3-1.
That line is working so well tonight. Bertoli puts the puck in the net, but it's all Jed Witchurch. Bertoli's 3rd point of the evening to go along with the 2 assists tonight as he scores his 14th goal of the season. And the fans are celebrating as the Titans are celebrating. This play is all Jed Witchurch from his own zone, comes in, waits, now slides it across, and Bertoli just one-times it, beating Berthume, and it's now a 3-1 lead. Watch as he waits and then slides across. Great job all around.
I think you'll see the shot actually goes right off the crossbar, Pete, as the pass comes through. Bertoli takes it, it kind of goes up and then straight down. Heard a lot of clinking going on, but it still counts.
And that goal came at even strength. That's not a power play goal because both teams were down a man.
Bertoli gets the goal, his 14th of the year. It comes at 17:30 from Jed Witchurch, and both of those players with a three-point night tonight. Oh, here's a mistake as Harmer comes across 2-on-1. Dwayne Harmer, in shot, oh, just went wide.
I think that might have hit the post, Nick. I heard a little ping in my ear.
Elfring stood up at the blue line. So scoring chances abound here, and we still have 4-on-4 hockey. Nice play here by Jerry Keefe to sidestep a check and keep things going. Ooh, the linesman just got stung in the buttocks.
That hit him, it hurt him.
Fedoruk trying to turn the corner and goes right through the slot. Titans on a Trigen Energy power play for the final 30 seconds here. Robot.
Now they have to show some patience. They can take a second or two to set this up and work the right pass.
Well, Strobot's open at the point, but they go back to the far corner. Fedoruk sees the check coming, goes behind the net to Keefe. Keefe looking for Lincoln Anderson, who's pinching in. The power play is over. Teams at even strength. Witchurch, back pass here to Keefe. Keefe still trying to center the puck. Written off by Travis Smith. 1 minute to go here in this second period. And finally, Ben Schust will send it on its way back to center ice, but good pressure here by the Titans to end this second period.
Great job. That's a big goal to put them up 3-1.
Here is Mike Hall across the line. Closing, walking right on in. Centering pass, shot, score! Cale McLean gets the goal, and I think it bounced off the far post and went in.
McLean, as he's sitting on the ice, raises his hands in celebration because it went in, but I tell you what, they may have a little discussion on this one.
I don't know what's to discuss. It wasn't kicked in by anybody.
I heard, again, a ping. Did it go off the post or did it go in? As you see Hansen saying right there, hold up, I'm going to talk to my two linesmen. Maybe we can tell from this angle. Great play by Hall here. Goes to the backhand and slides the puck right in the slot. There's the shot.
Now, did it go across the line? You saw
yes.
Berthume kind of reach back with the stick.
You saw Berthume reach behind his body and between his legs kind of scoop it forward. Now, did it go in or not? I don't know.
Now, the goal judge doesn't put the light on. Oh, looks like the light's already on before the shot's even taken.
Yeah, I think he acted a little premature, and they're going to call this no goal. Although the referee's pointing for a goal, but the linesman standing inside the zone. We'll have to wait and listen. Let's see what public address announcer Paul Spahala has to say.
The puck did not completely cross the line is the ruling from Craig Hansen.
And the rule is the whole puck must go across the entire line. If any part of the puck is touching any part of the line, it is not a goal.
I'll tell you though, that replay kind of showed, looked like the light was going on before that shot was even taken.
It absolutely did. I think the goal judge got a little excited, anticipating, figuring McLean had the puck in the slot. This is going in. Similar to the Bertoli goal, but credit Berthume with the save, and then credit him with also reaching around behind him.
The light's already on, and the puck's not even shot yet from Cale McLean, who gets hit as he let it go. And they say that Berthume was able to reach behind himself and the whole puck
there and hold on.
Well, I'll tell you, from that angle, it looks like his stick never really got into the hole behind the red line, so I'd have to say it was a good save. It only took us 3 times in slow motion to see it. 28 seconds to go, and Gates will let go from center ice as it goes all the way in the Trenton end. Still 3-1 Trenton. Here's Cale McLean. He's going to try again. McLean comes to the line, broken up momentarily, and now he'll just wind it in. Bertoli will get there first. And we have a whistle with 7.5 to go.
Well, the Titans have really come back here in the second period. Outplayed for most of this period. Probably the first 15 minutes they were outplayed, but by scoring that goal late and now taking a 3-1 advantage, that's big.
So the Titans clinging to a 3-1 lead here in period number 2, although they have kind of pushed the pace on Dan Berthume a little bit. And this period was kind of all Roanoke for the first, I'd say, 14, 15 minutes. The last 5 minutes have belonged to the Titans.
And the Titans capitalized on their opportunity. Great pass work. Bertoli made a great shot on the pass from Witchurch. And that was when they were on 4-on-4 skating. That's when the ice was opened up. I said earlier, you're going to see the skill of some of the quicker skaters. That's exactly what happened.
On the draw here, it'll be Thornton taking it for the Titans. The puck comes back. Nobody really gaining control here as the final 2 seconds will tick off the clock, and that's the way the second period's going to end. The Trenton Titans with a 3-1 lead over the Roanoke Express. And the scoring in this period, Paul DiFrancesco making it a 1-goal game, but then Bertoli right there from Witchurch at 17:30. Well, earlier tonight before the game, there was a ceremonial puck drop at center ice as Jeffrey Berman, the owner and CEO of the Titans, out there with Mark Newman and Jim Caulfield from the boys and girls clubs of Mercer County, and also Richard Kanka for the Megan Nicole Kanka Foundation. There's a lot of proceeds going to the Kanka Foundation from a sale of Titans Millennium jerseys in the final home game earlier this year. So the Titans helping out in the community. And coming up in a moment, we'll have an interview with Brian McKenna downstairs with Ken Alberger. But right now, Ken standing by as Scott Gordon makes his way into the tunnel. The coach of the Roanoke Express as he finds his club trip by a score of 3-1. Let's go downstairs to Ken Alberger. Ken.
Thanks very much, Mick. Scott, you guys played just about a picture-perfect second period there. Give up a late goal. Obviously, that is not something you want to have happen. What can you ask of your guys now? What kind of things do you look for in the third?
I'll just keep improving. I think that was a good period by us, and even on that goal, I thought our defenseman was interfered with, and they walked in on a 2-on-1 that would have been a 2-on-2. So I can't ask for much more than that, and the guys came out and played hard in the second.
Thanks, Scott, very much. Good luck in the third. Back upstairs to you, Mick.
All right, thanks, Ken. The interview brought to you by Powerade, the official drink of the Trenton Titans. We've played 2 periods with Trenton leading by a score of 3-1 over Roanoke. Stay with us on CN8. Tonight's second period intermission is brought to you by U.S. Airways, the official airline of the Trenton Titans. Well, welcome back to Sovereign Bank Arena. We have played 2 periods here as the Trenton Titans lead by a score of 3-1 over the Roanoke Express, and a big job tonight by Scott Bertoli and company as the young fans enjoying what they see. Bertoli has a goal. It's the only Titans goal of the second period, and he has also picked up a couple of assists. Well, the home fans enjoying what they've seen here tonight, as they have pretty much all year long, as the Trenton Titans continue to dominate at home, and that's why the Titans currently are 4th in the league in attendance. 6,761 people per game showing up to watch the Titans, and they even bring in the youth hockey, Pete.
Well, those aren't the Titans right now, but who knows? In 15 years, they may be the Titans. That looks like a mite squad out there. Those boys are between 6 and 8 years old. And they'll play a 2-minute game maybe between the second and third period here. And sometimes they can be real exciting.
Well, a lot of excitement here tonight as the Titans lead it. Let's go downstairs now to our in-between period host, Ken Alberger. Ken.
Thanks very much, Mick. Between periods, we are visiting with President and General Manager Brian McKenna, who has just recently, as the whole league has, come back from the All-Star breakdown in Greenville and some travel problems yesterday. Nonetheless, Brian's doing just fine. And I don't know how much you actually got to do. I guess just watch. You were involved in a lot of meetings, but your players put on quite a show. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We're proud of the way they played down there. Buhar managed to get Player of the Game in the All-Star, or excuse me, Goaltender of the Game in the All-Star game, and then Mark Murphy had 2 assists and actually had a couple of other good scoring chances that he helped create. So put in a very good showing for himself, and I think as a first-year player, obviously impressed some people. The next day he ends up getting called up. So that's certainly good news for him. It makes it a little tougher on us, but we're more than happy to see him get the opportunity.
And he won the fastest skating in the skills part, too. Now you do mention Mark Murphy. That's a big hole in your lineup now. It goes up to Scranton Wilkes-Barre for a 25-game tryout. Kind of explain to us how that happens. He's not a guy that belongs to anybody at any higher level. How is it that you can have a guy under contract and then you end up losing him to the A?
Well, I guess in a way it's like in Major League Baseball, you can purchase a contract from a minor league affiliate, and this is much the same. What we are trying to do here is be a development organization, and we have the affiliation with the Flyers and the Islanders, and we have several players under contract to both of those teams, but the rest are independent. And we made a commitment to these kids when we brought them in last fall that we'd give them the opportunity to have a great league to play in, number one, and the opportunity to improve their skills. So if they had the chance to move to a higher level, we wouldn't stand in their way. So to a degree, obviously we want to win hockey games and entertain our fans, but this is all about development. So if we have an opportunity to have a kid like Mark work as hard as he has for the 3 or 4 months so far this year and get the opportunity to move up to the next level, that's part of what we're all about here. So we're happy to see him get that chance, and hopefully a few more kids will before the end of the year.
You've led into my next question very nicely, and probably to an extent have even answered it, I guess, in kind of a humorous way. If you don't want these kids to be called up, if you guys want to win down here too, which will certainly keep the turnstiles going, so on and so forth, you might want to change your phone number, or just don't answer the phone when the call comes. Clearly, you would never deny anybody that opportunity. When the call comes, you have to let them go.
Yeah, for sure. We made that commitment to the kids, and we intend to stick by that. That just makes my job a little bit tougher in terms of going out and trying to make sure that we've got some players to fill those holes when they go. And we've got a kid here tonight, Jerry Keefe, that we're fortunate enough to be able to sign in the past few days and bring him in. He's a very skilled young player. So, if we can continue to fit guys like that in the lineup as we lose some of these other players, then we can continue to still be competitive and put on a good show for our home fans here as well.
Goaltending situation, you lose Valaket, he goes back up to Lowell. Good chance you won't see him again. So now Amidovsky is going to see an awful lot of action. Awful lot. It's kind of a strange way to put it, because he wants to see a lot of game action, a lot of pucks. Had himself a great game in the All-Star game, as you had mentioned previous. Have you perhaps left yourself, though, a little bit thin at the goaltending position? Should he go down? Should he get the call up to the Phantom? So on and so forth. What do? Throw your arms up in the throw your shoulders up in the air?
Well, it does make it a little bit difficult. There's no question about it. We actually had a guy on his way here last week from another American Hockey League team. They were going to send down to get some action. Guy broke his foot a couple of days before the assignment, so that sets him back a month or so. There are still a few guys out there. We're continuing to beat the bushes, whether it's a goaltender or any other position. We owe it to ourselves to try to improve our roster anytime we get a chance, and we'll continue to do that. In the meantime, Phillips is our backup. We want Buhar to get lots of action, as do the Philadelphia Flyers organization. So this will be good for him. We'll continue to look. If we can improve, certainly as the weeks go by, we will do that.
There you saw Bouillard just a minute ago getting the award from the All-Star. Final thing for you, and quickly, in your first year, third sellout here tonight. The rest of the season looks real good. So if people want to get tickets to Titan games, it's going to get a little bit hard. But don't stop calling anyway. I put that plug in anyway. But from here on in, hopes, expectations, is making the playoffs just enough, or do you really plan on going and winning it all?
Well, I think certainly when we started out at the beginning of the year, one of our goals was to make the playoffs. If the playoffs started tomorrow, we would be in a position where we would be in. There's a lot can happen, obviously, between now and the end of the year, injuries, call-ups, what have you. We're going to continue to try to compete hard. I think, Coach Cassidy and his staff have tried to instill that in our players. So we're going to continue to forge ahead. We want to finish as high as we possibly can in the playoffs and, in the regular season, and that'll give us a better opportunity, hopefully, to not only get in the playoffs, but maybe make a little noise once we get there. So we're going to compete hard and obviously, try to finish as high as we possibly can.
And Coach said in order for that to happen, we talked to him last period, the road, got to start winning on the road. You concur?
We certainly do, and I think we've played pretty well on the road in certain stretches, but not on a consistent basis, and I think that's what we'll have to do over the next month or two. But I think we've added a little size to our roster with guys like Fedoruk. If we happen to get another couple of players from Philadelphia as well, I think that the size will help us compete on the road. The other thing too is a lot of our young guys now have 30, 35 games under their belt. They have a little bit better idea of what the league is all about. So I think moving forward, that will help us compete better on the road for the rest of the year also.
Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Trenton Titans here through 2 periods of play are holding their own against the division leaders. They're up 3-1 over the Roanoke Express. When we return, we'll take a look around the ECHL. Stay tuned. And welcome back, everyone, to Sovereign Bank Arena. There are just 2 of the sellout throng here tonight taking in the action. The Titans have a 2-period, 2-goal lead over the Roanoke Express. And welcome back, everyone, to our intermission studios. I'm Ken Adelberger. Time to update you as we look around the ECHL tonight. The scoreboard is brought to you by the Trenton Orthopedic Group, the official orthopedic group of the Trenton Titans. 11 games to tell you about. Let's get right to it. Tallahassee and Birmingham. The Bulls at home tonight. First period, they are scoreless. Mississippi on the road with that 3rd worst road winning percentage in the league, and they're losing to the Dayton Bombers right now. Dayton has lost 2 straight. Pensacola, the Ice Pilots against the Everglades, going for win number 29 on the year, and the Everglades are up 2. They are in the first period of play. Peoria, the Rivermen, bidding to make it 7 straight in the win column. They have a 2-goal lead over Greensboro, now that game in Greensboro in the second period. Wheeling, the Nailers have been hammered all year, and they've been hammered twice by the Admirals thus far. First period play, Hampton Roads up 1. The score you see is 2-1. Arkansas, the Riverblades, they have a league low 7 wins, holding their own against the Ice Gators, though, who have won 5 straight. They are scoreless in the first period of play, as are Jackson and Mobile. They are in the first period. The Brass have a 1-0 lead over Jacksonville down in New Orleans. They're packing them in down in New Orleans as well. Johnstown, the Chiefs, 5-1-4 in their last 10. They find themselves in a bit of a tussle right now with the Renegades down in Richmond. It's a 1-goal hockey game. They are in the opening stanza. Charlotte and the Stingrays, how about those Stingrays holding on to last place in the Southern Conference for a playoff spot. Still a lot of hockey to go, though. Scoreless in the first period. Huntington and Toledo, the blizzard and the storm and the weather, and it's all coming again tomorrow. We're going to get snowed in, aren't we? Well, 1-1. They are in the first period of play. That is a look at the ECHL scoreboard brought to you by the Trenton Orthopedic Group. to the Molson Cup standings. Who have been the stars? Who's been hot for the Trenton Titans? Here you go. Mark Murphy, the recently departed Mark Murphy, leading the way with 21 points. The sensational goaltender Bujar Amadovsky right behind. Bertoli having a nice night here as well. Cale McLean has tailed off a bit on the offensive side, still holding strong. Jed Witchurch having a real nice game here tonight at Sovereign Bank Arena. Hall, Mater, and Valaket. There you have the Molson Cup standings, brought to you by Molson Ice, and it is indeed chilly out. You might want to warm up that Molson Ice before you partake tonight. Once again, we are through 40 minutes of play here at the Sovereign Bank Arena, and it has been a fine performance by the Titans thus far. 3-1, they lead the division-leading Roanoke Express. When we return, Mick Munninghoff and Pete Caggiano have all the highlights of that second period of play. Stay tuned. We're back with more right here on CN8.
Nice!
Welcome back after two periods. 3-1, the Trenton Titans leading Roanoke here at Sovereign Bank Arena. Mick Munninghoff along with Pete Caggiano. Let's go downstairs first to the coach and Ken Adelberger.
Thanks very much, Mick. You know, Coach, you pretty much dodged a bullet there, I think, anyway, in that second period. Roanoke pretty much taken to you for the first 15 minutes. You get a great opportunity with Witchurch and Bertoli at the end. Has to be a real boost for your squad.
Yeah, I thought, they came out hard the first, 5-6 minutes. Maybe we thought it would be an easy night, but I thought we got going there. We took a couple of penalties there. One was questionable on file. I thought it was just, I thought we had the offensive chance and we're going to the box. So having to kill that killed some of our momentum. And then Jed, big play for us. Bujar, a couple of big stops there when we did break down. So it was a good team effort that period. And, hopefully we can shut the door. We've done well protecting leads most of this year, and hopefully we'll get her done again tonight.
Quickly, they lead the division. What kind of measuring stick is this for you guys?
Well, obviously, when if you can go out and beat, the first place team in your division, it shows that you can play with the big boys. We've said it all year. We can do it. We just have to do it on a consistent basis, and maybe the guys will start to believe. Should we get it done? Obviously, we've got 20 minutes left. I feel we will, but guys got to go out and execute.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the third. Back upstairs to you guys. Take it away.
All right. Thanks very much, Ken. Pete, let's go right to the highlights of this second period. Roanoke came out flying. They had the pressure on the Trenton Titans, and they scored first.
They did a great job right from the start. Here's some of the work in the corner by the Express. Watch the pass. DiFrancesco lets the shot go. Beats Bujar right between the legs. And that at the time makes the score 2-1. But here's the play. They're skating 4-on-4 at this point. A lot of open ice. Jed Witchurch makes the beautiful pass, sliding it right across. Bertoli one-timing the shot. Past Berthume, making the score 3-1. That came at the end of the second period. Outstanding play. And again, here's a play where we thought the puck was in. Shot by McLean. And then you see that red light in the corner? We thought that was the goal judge light. And you see right there, the goal judge light is on. But the whole puck did not go over the whole line.
Yeah, actually, that was another vehicle behind the net there that had a red light on, believe it or not. Take a look at the stats, and you'll see that, Roanoke, like we said, carried the play a little bit in that second period.
Roanoke did a very nice job. I like the power plays, though. 0 for 3 for the Express. The Titans 0 for 1. But, Mick, their power play only lasted 30 seconds.
Well, like we said, the score right now, 3-1. Trenton leading Roanoke. Stay tuned. The third period coming up just around the corner on CN8. So stay with us. Tonight's Titans game is brought to you by First Union. Let us be your guide to the financial world. And by your local Tri-State Toyota dealer. Toyota, real values every day. And by U.S. Airways, the official airline of the Trenton Titans. And we are set for period number 3 as the Titans lead this one by a score of 3-1 over the Roanoke Express. Hope you're enjoying the game tonight on CN8. Chris Masters will take this draw against Dion Del Monte, and the Titans will control as Williams goes back to pick it up in the zone, but the play broken up near the blue line, and the Express will just dump it in. Williams and File back on defense. Masters, Thornton, and Fedork. The line out there now for the Trenton Titans, and this pass is behind Fedork. And finally, it's picked up by Masters at the blue line. Gives up for Bob Thornton, who's knocked off his base, and the puck rolls harmlessly into the corner. Calvin Elford trying to check Fedork behind the net. It's picked up by Masters, who rolls it right in front. Now it's in the slot, and a quick one-timer by Thornton goes around. Bob Thornton tied up in a corner, and here come the Express. 3-on-3 if they hurry. Across the line, DL Del Monte. It's for Tremblay to break toward the net, but he's broken up. Fedork plays ahead for Martin Servant, and he winds it behind Daniel Bethune.
Critical first few minutes here, Nick. If you remember, the beginning of the second period, the Express came out smoking and really took it to the Titans, and that's when they scored their one goal in the second period. Again, let's see if the Titans have learned their lesson. No, they have to tighten up and play a little closer defense, especially here at the beginning of the third period.
Steve Sabo just dumps it into the Trenton net. Martin Servant looks to skate it out. The puck stopped at the blue line for a moment, and now the Titans, Mike Hall, shoots it in behind Bethune. Kel McLean with a nice hit there on Travis Smith. Good play here by Sabo on defense to catch the puck in the slot and clear. Paul DiFrancesco will keep it on its way, but we have an offside called against Roanoke. Well, after 2 periods beat, when Trenton leads, the record is 14-0-1, and when Roanoke trails after 2, just 1-6 this year, so things look pretty good right now for Trenton.
Well, you heard what Coach Cassidy had to say. He's pretty confident. Coach Gordon, I'm sure, probably said the same things in his squad. Cassidy always working that gum, though. Always working the gum.
Well, when you're an expansion team, you know, sometimes you wonder if your team can play with a lead. And already twice this year we have seen Roanoke win road games in this building. So I think we're a long way from being out of the woods as far as a win tonight for the Trenton Titans is concerned. Dwayne Harmer's drive goes into the near corner. Mike Perron will get there first. Perron and Todd Campo cannot control, and the puck comes to the blue line, and Sergei Strobat tries to play ahead. Perron will just backhand it in. The Express want to change. Schreier keeps it on his way, goes to Dion Del Monte, who throws a weak backhand to the net. Scott Bertoli gives up for Sergei Skrobot. Skrobot rolls it into the corner. Aaron Gates cannot clear. And now Dwayne Harmer will try. Dwayne Harmer, ECHL All-Star defenseman, shows you why with nice stick handling at center ice to Ben Schuss drive, and Bujar Amadovsky holds on. Ben
Amadovsky making a great play. Schuss letting the big slap shot go. But again, this is the kind of save a goaltender has to make. He has to come out and break down the angle. He has to challenge the shooter. That's why he's 4th in the league in goals against and 3rd in save percentage, because he comes out and challenges the shooter. He doesn't play on his heels. He doesn't play back deep by his own goal line. Where you see him right now at the top of the crease, that's where he stays to make the save.
He's out there to cut down the angle. Face-off is to his right. Dion Del Monte will take the draw. And the Titans want to change. Looks like Bob Thornton was calling for Mando to come on, and he does. Mando goes in the corner as Thornton won the draw. Now Mando lays a little lumber. It comes back to the point. And here's a drive right in front is Tremblay, and Bujar Amadovsky able to fight him off and the puck as well. On the goal line, Amadovsky covering the near corner. The puck bounces to Ben Schuss at the point. He just rolls it in for Del Monte. Now Tremblay going to be run into the boards here by Vince Williams. Williams takes the puck and he'll clear.
Roanoke picking up the pace. They're 2 goals down, doing a good job putting a lot of pressure all around Amadovsky. That time defense tightened up just when they had to and was able to keep the puck out of the net.
Ben Schuss trying to keep the puck alive, and now Amadovsky is knocked into the cage. And sticks get high with Del Monte and Thornton, and I think we could see a penalty coming up here as both go down in a heap.
As we mentioned earlier, this is Thornton's 4th game with the team, and he's trying to stick up for his teammates. He's trying to show how tough he is. Tremblay just threw a left hook.
Now Tremblay getting involved, it looks like, with Todd Fedoruk.
And these guys are going to go.
Fedoruk and Tremblay getting involved in some fisticuffs here. Fedoruk trying to get the upper hand. Good shot by Tremblay. Fedoruk retaliates with a nice right. Fedoruk with a good left. So Todd Fedoruk showing that he can duke it out with the best of them. He's not done yet. A couple shots to the head there by Fedoruk. And they're letting him go. Fedoruk is teeing off on Tremblay.
He's leading with his right.
Oh, another big right.
Left.
And Fedoruk is just swinging all over and making contact.
Well, you're going to see the linesmen stand aside and wait till these guys tire themselves out. The last thing they want to do is jump in and get hit with a punch themselves.
And Todd Fedoruk and J.F. Tremblay exchanging blows here early in the 3rd period. Some weak lefts and then a pretty good right by Fedoruk. Well, the key is to tie the other guy's arms up in his jersey, and Fedoruk was able to do that on J.F. Tremblay. And he lets everybody know about it.
Fedoruk getting the applause of the crowd, but Tremblay actually at one point looked to the linesman saying, okay, I had enough. Tremblay had all his equipment off, while Fedoruk had all his equipment, including his helmet, so every time a punch came his way, he just tucked his chin down and the punch landed on top of his head. While with Tremblay, regardless of where Fedoruk threw the punch, he was connecting with some part of Tremblay.
So Fedoruk will get a well-deserved 5-minute rest for fight.
That was about a 6-minute round. Then you see him bring all the equipment over to Tremblay.
Ben Schuss and his head coach, Scott Gordon, seeing themselves on the short end of the score and also the short end of the fight right there.
I'm not sure how they're going to divvy this up. Of course, we have majors with Tremblay and Fedoruk.
I think the original penalty was against the Titans.
Oh, another piece of gum.
Fresh piece. So the referee, Craig Hansen, will sort this one out.
He probably conferred with his linesman just to make sure he's got it right. There's some of the young crowd here tonight.
So after the fisticuffs, they'll sort out the penalties. And well, you see the fisticuffs here on February the 16th. The Titans will put on the foil as the Johnstown's Chiefs will come to town. And I'll tell you what, you can check out the Hanson brothers as they'll be here to sign autographs and help you to take you back to old-time hockey. Eddie Shore, right?
You're not old enough to remember Eddie Shore.
I'm old enough to remember the Hanson brothers.
Okay.
Slapshot.
You must have read about Eddie Shore in a book. But those two fellas knew a little bit about fighting. That was old-time hockey. Those guys went at it toe-to-toe. The linesman stayed away, let them go toe-to-toe. Scott Bertoli, he enjoyed it as he takes a sip of water.
I'll tell you, Bertoli and Witchurch each with 3 points tonight. And the most points that a Titan has scored in any game this year is 4. So with their next point, they'll be in the record book. And Dwayne Harmer is still arguing. Now, he's the captain. He has the right to go out and talk to the official.
Well, that's because the Titans are going to end up with a 2-minute power play. I'm not sure how they're divvying up the penalties, but somehow there's an extra minor put against the Express, and that'll give the Titans their second power play of the evening. And this time it'll be a full 2 minutes. Booyah checking the area around his crease to make sure there's no chunks taken out of the ice, because that's where the whole thing started before it was pushed into the corner.
0 for 1 on the Trigen Energy power play are the Trenton Titans, and no one has been able to net a power play goal this evening.
Yeah, but Mick, the power play for the Titans the first go around was only 30 seconds long.
So here comes Eric Brulé. And he will wind it around the boards as Cale McLean will get there, and Lincoln Anderson pinching in from the point, gives it away as Steve Sabo gives up. And just rolling it in the zone are the Express. So here come the Titans. On the Trigen Energy power play is Cale McLean. He's kind of dumped it in, and we'll see if the man advantage can put the Titans on the positive end of the power play here, which is something they haven't done too much this season. And this puck goes right into the Roanoke bench. Let's run down the penalties. Fedor off for 5 for fighting, and Thornton 2 for roughing. Del Monte goes off 4 minutes for roughing. That's where the power play comes in. And Tremblay, of course, 5 for fighting, but it was more like 5 for receiving.
Well, obviously the Tremblay and the Fedor penalties cancel each other out. Del Monte getting 4, Thornton getting 2. That results in the 2-minute power play.
Lincoln Anderson already has 1 goal tonight. I'm sure he'd like to get back at the point and gun for another. On the face-off here, Perron and Hall won it, but it goes a little too far back in the Trenton zone. As Eric Brulé goes back with Sergei Strobat. Mike Hall, Jerry Keefe, and Cale McLean on this power play. Daniel Bethune tried to send it along and kind of left it behind the net. Now Hall has it. Mike Hall gives up for Cale McLean. Nobody in the slot right now for the Trenton Titans. Hall goes behind the net. Keith has it. Looking in the slot for Strobat. Rolled off the stick, and now his shot is deflected. Second follow-up. Knocked down by the goaltender, and finally it'll be cleared as I think we're going to get a whistle even before the puck goes out of the zone. Looks like a holding penalty coming up.
Somebody's getting a hold, and I thought he might have even showed the sign for a roughing. I couldn't quite tell, but I definitely saw the hold.
Looks like it's going to be against that Aaron Gates. Aaron Gates goes to the box.
And there's still 30 seconds left on the first penalty. Watch this action all around in front of the net. Here's Strobat. He can't tee the shot up. It's a perfect pass from the side. But now he takes one. Save made. Watch to the left of your screen. You're going to see shot. It didn't look so bad. I think the Titans caught a break there because that didn't look so bad.
Cale McLean goes off as well.
So they are going to cancel out.
So they're going to cancel out coincidental minors.
Because I saw McLean throw 2 punches before he was tackled.
And that's the reason why McLean's in the box. So now Bertoli and Keefe will talk things over. How they're going to handle this is we'll have a 4-on-4 situation for...
No, we still have the original 30 seconds that are left on the other one, so it's 5-on-4.
Still 5-on-4 for the Titans.
But the Titans are 26th in the league on their power play and only score at a little less than 14.5%.
Well, Bertoli out there now trying to make something happen, looking for his 4th point of the night. He already has a goal and 2 assists, kept in by Brulé at the point. Hall sends it back behind the net, but nobody's there, and this puck's going to come out of the zone. So the Trigen Energy power play will end in 5 seconds.
The best chance they had was when Strobat had the puck right in the slot, and he couldn't control it on his stick and never got a good shot on it.
So the teams are at even strength. We have 14:30 to play in the third period as Trenton leads it by a score of 3-1. Here's Ben Schust at the line, takes it all the way into the far corner. Back to the point, and it splits the defense. Berthume will keep it on its way and send it back to the blue line. Calvin Elfring couldn't control. File picks it up, sends a man away. Here's Witchurch. Witchurch drives, save Berthume.
Wow, did you see how far Daniel Berthume came out to make that save? He came about 15 feet out to deny Jed Witchurch.
Whoa, throws it right to the net, and the net gets dislodged again as Amadovsky standing tall in the crease tonight.
But Bouillard saw that coming and quickly moved to his right just to get out of the way as File ran an express player right into the crossbar.
So Amadovsky will shake that off as the score remains 3-1. Now let's take a look at our New Jersey Department of Health and Senior Services save of the game.
Big save by Berthume right there. Look how far out he is. Witchurch, full head of steam, winds up, lets the booming slap shot go. Great save.
Save of the game brought to you by the New Jersey Department of Health and Senior Services. Hockey's fun. Their message to kids is serious. Don't get sucked in by smoking. 13:50 to go, and Trenton still hanging on to a 3-1 lead. Schweier with his backhand hit the corner, and it goes right to Mike Perron. Perron lets it go. It hit File, the defenseman. It's kept in at the point. Now it comes out. Mando has it. Breaks with Servant. Didn't pass it to him, though. And this puck is actually it's an icing, right?
It's an icing. All he had to do was take one more stride. Mando was one stride in front of the red line. I thought at first he was just going to pass it, but instead he shot it all the way down, and now it brings the faceoff all the way back in your own zone.
He had Martin Servin at the blue line. I'm surprised he didn't just take a look over the left shoulder and see him.
We saw that from up here, but it's a little different when you're at ice level.
Bob Thornton getting a lot of face-off tonight. Here he'll square off against Mike Perron. Thornton's won 7 of 8, not bad. Lost this one, though, and it shot from the point by Elfring is broken up by Servant, and he comes back the other way. It's going to be picked up by Servant. Crossing pass with Thornton. Thornton trying to roll it in front and stick to the near corner.
Elfring made a great play. He broke up a 2-on-1 that could have really put this game away for the Titans.
Well, that's why he's an all-star. Schweier leaves the puck here. He's broken up, and back the other way comes Thornton with Mando. Titans want to change, and they're going to get one. Here comes Dwayne Harmer. Harmer, who's seen time in the AHL this year, comes across the line. Deeks brings it back to the point. Holds on. Now he's going to let it go, and it's off the skate of Cam White. And it comes all the way back to center ice. Express dump it in. They want to change. Leakin Anderson back on. Left it, but it's picked up by DiFrancesco. He had Campo in the slot. Campo wants to center. Can't. Picked up, and it's 2-on-2 back the other way. Witchurch rolls to the far corner. Bertoli gives chase behind the net. Sabo broken up. Ooh, big hit there by Bertoli. Now DiFrancesco goes down in the heat. Anderson's drive well wide from the point. 12 minutes to play in this third period, and it's 3-1 Trenton. Troy Lake hit by Witchurch. Now run off by Anderson. DiFrancesco behind the net to Campo. Never got good wood on it. Todd Campo going to get there first? No, Witchurch will. Plays for Sergei Skrobot. Gives up for Masters. Trying to get it back to Skrobot. But David Froh breaks him up, and he comes back the other way. Froh gives up for Brent Ozorowski. And it's going back to center.
Mickey, you have to be careful. Skrobot, that pass was broken up. It almost was a 2-on-1 for the Titans, but you don't want your defenseman up that far because now it's a forward covering back there for you, and a forward just can't do the job defensively in your zone that a defenseman can.
Nice play here to clear the zone. David Froh has it. Goes up for Elfring, who just dumps it in. Amadovsky checking out the situation, gives up. Masters has it. Now Mike Hall tries to put a move on Dwayne Harmer, who broke him up. Here comes Brent Ozorowski centering pass went off the skate of Mike Perron. He never saw it, but Amadovsky did, and he covers up. 10 minutes and 55 seconds to go here in the period. The Titans lead it by a score of 3-1. Stay with us on CN8. Our rock of the game, and you'll see Bertoli in the corner trying to mix things up here a little bit with J.F. Tremblay, and that right there with that heavy hit is our WHTG rock of the game. WHTG, Monmouth County's home of the Trenton Titans.
Well, when you don't get your center of gravity low, that time Bertoli was high up on his skates, and he actually took the brunt of that check.
3-1 the score with 10:50 to go in this one. You know, the hits tonight, the Express and the Titans, pretty close. Titans 19-13 edge, though. But we still have 10:40 to play. Dion Del Monte out there now with one of the higher scoring lines. Troy Lake, Rob Schweier for the Roanoke Express. Wayne Harmer logging a lot of time at the point for Roanoke. He's out there again. Titans try to keep it, but here is Harmer. Harmer closing, walks right on in, stick check by Brule, and Amadovsky comes out to make the save. And Del Monte sticks getting high with Cam White.
Cam White taking offense to some of that activity right around Amadovsky. Defensemen always try to protect their goaltenders.
Well, look at the clutch and grab.
There's a left. Harmer makes a great move. He's just warded off last second by Brule. And then a big pileup as you see Servin taking the Express player over the top of Amadovsky. Coming up right there. That was Marty Servin running the Express player, and that's why Boo is the best, as the sign says, was taken out of the play.
On the face-off, it is won by Jerry Keefe, and it's picked up by Bertoli. Coming in, shot, save, Berthume. Follow-up shot, save, Berthume. It's loose and finally clear. Wow.
Berthume made a great first save, but he didn't react. He just stood still. I don't think he knew where the puck was. Good thing he made a save on the second one, though.
Unfortunately, nobody trailing the play for the Titans until they have an empty net.
Absolutely.
Witchurch out there with Bertoli and also Jerry Keefe. This line continues to impress.
But you may not see that, Mick, because the Titans are only going to send one, maybe two guys deep. You won't see the third Titan entering the zone. We're inside 10 minutes, third period, 2-goal lead. I don't want to say defensive show, but they're going to be real cautious right now.
4-1, the chances in the third period here for the Trenton Titans as they have picked up the pace after a kind of lackluster 15 minutes of that second period as Roanoke kind of took the play to them. But since the 15-minute mark of that second period, a Sabo's shot is deflected easily by Amadovsky. That one hit the side of the net, and it goes in the crowd. It's really been all Trenton Titans since that point, Pete.
That and the third goal that they scored at the end of the second period, I think might have taken a little bit of the air out of the Express.
Now here's Bertoli's drive. Watch, Berthume makes the first save, and then he makes the follow-up. But like you said, you're not sending anybody in, so that rebound after this shot is going to lay right there in the crease.
A good play by the defenseman to swoop in and clear it out.
I think it was actually Todd Compo who came back to clear it away. Well, if you're Scott Gordon, you got to think about, I know it's early yet, but do you want to pull the goaltender in this kind of a game?
Down by 2? I don't know. Some teams do that regularly. Other teams would never think of it.
Got a lot of time left, though. 9 minutes to go. One goal here will change the complexion of everything.
But when you're down by 2, you have to pull them a lot earlier. Usually when you're down by 1, you pull them in the last minute. If you're down by 2, you have to pull them with a minute 30, maybe a minute 40 to go.
Titans ice the puck here. Now I want to go back to something you said a moment ago, Pete. You talked about the Titans not sending the third man in. Still with like 8:53 to go. Is that a little bit too conservative, not going for the knockout?
I don't think so. I think when you are one of the better defensive teams, there's a reason for that. You play smart hockey. You send one guy in, you send two guys. I doubt if that third guy, unless he's all alone and he's 100% sure, because who wants to go back to the bench and face that man there, Cassidy, knowing he got caught up ice when the other team came back and scored.
And the face-off is to the right of Amadowski. Servin wins the draw. It's picked up behind the net by Chris File. Kept in by David Flo with the point. Trenton leading Roanoke 3-1. Inside 9 minutes to play in this third period. Nice play by Vince Williams. Break up the puck in the near circle. Now Cale McLean has it. Just rolls it ahead into the Roanoke zone. Seconds continue to tick down. Here's Calvin Elfring. Didn't bring the puck with him. Servin tries to throw it in front for McLean. And it kind of got bounced around. Now Elfring comes back from the other side.
The other thing you're going to see real soon, Mick, with just 8 minutes remaining here in the third period, is the Express are going to have to start taking some chances. Their defensemen are going to have to pinch. Their guys are going to have to hang up, trying to get that one extra attempt.
Well, they have the defensemen to do it. Here comes Stewart. Gives up for Fedoruk. Here's his shot. Oh, big save there by Berthume, who kind of saw that one coming high, and he kind of ducked, but still left his shoulder up there to knock it down.
That's a tough save. Don't know whether to turn the glove up, raise your shoulder, but the number one thing is get your face and head out of the way. And that he did.
Behind the net, Roanoke with the puck as it's finally picked up by Brent Ozorowski. Plays through the center for Campo. Todd Campo comes across the line, kicks on the brakes, looking for help. Ozorowski trailing the play. Will pick it up and just send it on its way into the near corner. Their centering pass, nice one, shot, great glove save, Booyah, Amadowski. Wow, Mike Perron had him measured, and Amadowski comes up with a big glove save. Well, we've seen the goaltenders come up big, Pete. Berthume doing a great job at one end, Stone and Fedoruk. Again with that high save.
Beautiful save there. He winced a little bit. That hit him high in the shoulder.
And at the other end, Booyah Amadowski doing a nice job on Mike Perron.
Good pass from the corner. Winds up, big slash out. Look at the quick left hand as he just catches it right out of the air. Woo-hoo boo, and that says it all.
Wow. Well, we're finding out why Booyah Amadowski is an ECHL All-Star too.
And won the award for outstanding goaltender in that game by playing a tremendous third period on Wednesday night down in Greenville.
He's having a big third period here tonight. Titans with the puck in their own zone, and this one goes up and into the crowd. Well, it's kind of been a reversal tonight for the Trenton Titans. The last meeting, Roanoke won by a score of 2-1 back on December the 17th, and the Titans only had 16 shots in that game and only 2 shots in the entire third period. I think that kind of stuck in their mind as they come out here in the third period tonight, Pete.
I think Coach Cassidy really explained to these players how important these games are now. You mentioned right from the start, you got to start thinking playoffs. You got to start thinking you must be in that top 8. Right now, the Titans are that number 8 team. So they're going to have to get a little bit of a cushion between them and the number 9 team. And a way to do that is starting to put points on the board.
Berthume comes way out. Witchurch there, and he has to cover up. Wow.
Again, this will create a faceoff down inside the Express end. I'm not sure if that's what he wanted, but he wanted to play it safe. He's talking to his teammates just to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Well, Berthume played in the NHL with Winnipeg, Minnesota, Los Angeles, Boston, and Ottawa. And the Titans 10-4, dominating the faceoffs. And unfortunately, they'll lose this one. Wayne Harmer will go in the corner to pick it up. Now Mike Perron actually he's broken up by the linesman. And we're going to get a call against Cam White.
And Perron. They're both going to go.
Okay. I wasn't sure if Perron was going to get the gate too or not, but Cam White and Mike Perron are both going to go.
They're both going to go. It's going to be a roughing penalty against Cam White, and Perron's going to get the slash. These guys have had bad blood most of the night. Watch what's going to happen. You're going to see a left-right boom there to the face. You see the helmet snap, and then the slash right across the left leg. And at first he wasn't going to call either one, but when Perron retaliated, the official Craig Hansen had to get both of them. Now that will not affect on-ice strength, or excuse me, it will not affect power play strength. The players will now skate 4-on-4, which again will open up the ice, but not create a power play.
This is what we've seen tonight. The Titans have flourished in the 4-on-4 open ice situation.
Well, that's when we saw Jed Witchurch in the second period make that beautiful pass.
And that's when
Bertoli
cashed in. Absolutely correct. 3-1 the score. Here comes Dwayne Harmer. Holds and rolls it in. Paul DiFrancesco upended. Ben Schust has the puck. Schust gives for Harmer, drive. Abadowski doesn't know where it is. Now he hears the whistle and he realizes he has it, but Bouillard was looking left, looking right, looking behind him. He wasn't quite sure on this one.
Well, it's not only scary for the goaltender. Think of his teammates. If the goaltender doesn't know where it is, who's supposed to know where it is? The shot comes and it kind of rolls up the front of his body, rolls up the stick as we take a look from behind the goaltender. It was touched in front by...
I think Cale McLean got a piece of it.
And that redirected it just a tinge, and sometimes that's all it needs to throw the goaltender off. The shot is so hard and so quick, the goaltender must start his reaction instantly as soon as the shot is taken. Any deviation, any redirection throws the goaltender off.
And the Express with a slight edge. 5 more shots on the Titans as they try to send Bertoli away. Coming back in a hurry to pick it up was Dwayne Harmer. Here comes Ben Schust. Puts on the brakes. Broken up by foul. He's shot, gloved by Abadowski, and they'll have to hold on.
Nick, this game is starting to get a little bit chippy, a little bit where players are starting to take a few liberties. Back behind the plate, 2 guys just took whacks at each other.
Well, things getting a little dicey behind the net. Sticks getting high, a little forearm action each way, but no call. Let it go for a while.
Those are left jabs. What we need is a... Well, there you saw the stick between the legs. That hurts. Cup or no cup, that hurts.
5 minutes and 58 seconds to go as the Trenton Titans continue with their 3-1 lead here tonight at home against Roanoke. Elflick goes up. Ooh, it goes right off the post. And it came straight back in the slot. What a drive by David Froh.
He let the shot go, but it was actually deflected. That's why Boo had no chance at it, but it hit the post.
Abadowski has it go under his pad as Todd Campo rolls it to the net. Some big chances here for the Express to get back in it with 5:42 to go. You know, we have mics all over and right down on the post as well. Let's take a listen to how this one sounded behind Bouillard.
Wow, you hear it right there as it clunked right across.
Well, then it kept on going with good pressure once again, and Todd Campo rolling it right there, and notice everybody kind of making sure it's tucked under Bouillard's pad.
Bouillard was almost beat between the legs. Again, he had to reach around him with the stick to make sure it didn't trickle through.
Sergei Skrobot on with Lincoln Anderson on defense in this 4-on-4 situation. And this 4-on-4 kind of controlled by the Express as they've opened it up. But they have the defensemen to do it. And Calvin Elfring and Dwayne Harmer, each right around the 29-point mark this year.
Well, Mick, they have no choice. We're inside 5.5 minutes. They really have to throw caution to the wind now because they need 2 just to put it to a shootout.
Delani sees it skip outside the zone as Dion goes back and picks it up. Now here is Chris Masters. And he plays for Anderson. Here is Bertoli trying to carry it in all by himself. Ridden off the play pretty well there by Ben Schust. David Froh will come back the other way. Broken up here at the blue line by Jerry Keefe. Now Dion Del Monte leaves for Harmer. Harmer throws it to the net. And Troy Lake almost there in time to redirect it. But this one comes right back in the slot. Teams are back at full strength. And they try to send Sergei Skrobot, the defenseman, away. Breaks in on the left wing, but it's coming back to center.
I tell you, Skrobot better hustle back because if he's caught up ice on a play like that, Coach Cassidy's going to make sure he hears about it.
Jerry Keefe with a rink-wide pass, but Mike Perron got there first. Now Dwayne Harmer with 4:14 and his team down by 2 tries to play through. Harmer at center ice. Goes up for DiFrancesco, who has a goal tonight. The only goal for the Roanoke Express. Brent Ozarowski. Ooh, DiFrancesco really gets upended by File.
File took his skates out. No call on the play. DiFrancesco looking to retaliate right there with File. He was upset, and rightly so.
3:44 to go. Spinning away from Witchurch is Harmer. Crowd wanted an interference or a trip, uncalled, and now Harmer gets dumped by File.
But he didn't call the one earlier, so he couldn't call this one here.
And this puck will be shot the length of the ice. It will be icing against the Trenton Titans. We have 3 minutes and 25 seconds to go in this third period with the Trenton Titans leading the Express by a score of 3-1. Stay with us. on CN8. Fans, now's your opportunity to experience all the action and excitement from the best seat in the house at Sovereign Bank Arena. You can become an inter-club circle member and enjoy these special amenities that go along with it. Exclusive club seats and more. You get to see Titans hockey and all the other events here as well. Call Sovereign Bank Arena at 609-656-3270 to check out the premium seating department. Well, we're ready for a face-off here to the left of Bujar Amadovsky. Eric Goulet picks up this puck as the Titans win another draw on their own end. Control the face-offs, Pete. Usually you control the game.
And the two guys, Thornton and Keefe, have done an excellent job tonight controlling face-offs. But here, the Titans are guilty of icing, and this they have to watch. You don't want many face-offs deep in your own zone, especially late in the game.
Well, here's where Bujar kind of earns his money. Because if you do keep icing the puck and the face-offs keep coming back in the zone, you need a big guy in the net to turn people away. And with a goals against average of 2.29 this year and 13 wins to go with it, Bujar's the man to get it done. Haran on the face-off here against Bob Thornton. Back to the point for Elfrink. Straight away, Fro's shot was knocked down by Cam White. White comes back with Todd Fedoruk. Fedoruk has it, throws it to the net. The trailer on the play is Thornton, but it comes back to center ice. Eric Goulet throws to center. Rob Schweer sends it along for Mike Perron. Now Ben Schuss backhanded. Sticked aside by Amadovsky. Perron, dangerous man, and Amadovsky takes it upon himself, but he can't clear. Cross ice pass, back to the point. Thrown in front, shot scores. Redirected, I think Ben Schuss got a piece of it and sent it to the far corner.
I'm not sure if it went off a stick or a skate, but that puck was going wide and was redirected behind Amadovsky. And now the Palms are starting to sweat a little bit on the Titan bench. Schuss is the guy.
Well, another look at this one. From the point, the shot was well wide, Pete, no doubt about it, but there's a nice redirection in the slot by Ben Schuss as he picks up his 18th goal of the season.
Oh, that was a beautiful play. Bujar trying to clear the puck himself, unable to as it is held in at the point. And the shot comes from the other point right there. Just redirects it between the legs of Amadovsky. And now with 2.5 remaining, the score is 3-2.
And it comes inside the 3-minute mark. Dwayne Harmer picks up an assist. And David Fro got the other. 17:25, the time of the goal. And now Roanoke is down by 1. 3-2. And not out of the woods yet, like we said, and here come the Titans.
Nick, this is almost a flip-flop of the second period where Roanoke controlled the first 15 and the Titans played the last 5. Here the Titans played the first 15 and Roanoke's picked up the pace in the last 5 minutes.
But there's only 1:50 to go, and soon you got to think about sending Daniel Berthume to the bench.
That'll happen in about 45 seconds.
Well, Elfring is out there along with Dwayne Harmer. That's the best defensive pair that they have. They're two of the best in the league. Deon Del Monte, Troy Lake, and David Fro on the ice. And Berthume hasn't come out yet. Schweier has it behind the net. Rob Schweier looking to center a pass, walks right in front. It's loose, and it comes back to the point. Shot, save Amadovsky, and he juggles and holds on. 3-2 the score with 1:17 to go.
Well, now you're seeing why Roanoke is the best team in the Northeast. They're really putting the pressure on. This is not so much the Titans playing poorly. This is the Express playing very well.
Well, you know, Coach Bruce Cassidy.
Whenever you see somebody fold their hands like that, they're nervous.
Oh, pacing going on each side of Scott Gordon.
Who actually seems a little more upbeat than Coach Cassidy.
Well, we're going to get a timeout here as Berthume will come to the bench. The question is, will he come back on the ice? So Roanoke calls a timeout as they trail 3-2 with 1:17 to go after the goal by Ben Schust at 17:25.
Well, what this does now, it gives each team to put the best players that they have on the ice, or I should say the players they want on the ice. He's diagramming a play. The faceoff is going to be deep in the Titan zone.
Well, you know you're going to see 8 and 6. That is Harmer and Elfring back at the point. Well, they're drawing it up now, but they drew up pretty good play in the last 3 minutes here as you get a good look at how they crowd the net, and when you get a goal scorer like Ben Schust in front, good things are going to happen.
This is just real good work. 3 express players all around. Schust is the one who redirects it. And as we mentioned earlier, there's nothing a goaltender can do when the puck is redirected last moment.
Well, Shel Samuelson, former NHL defenseman, won a Stanley Cup ring in '92 with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Of course, he played also with Florida and Philadelphia. And if anybody can help diagram a defense, it would be Shel Samuelson.
And they pulled Berthume already. So a minute 17, and they have 6 skaters on the ice for the Express.
And again, Harmer and Elfring are at the point. The faceoff going to be taken by Mike Perron. Schust trying to get it in the corner first, and the faceoff will come right back where it was with 1:11 to go.
The Titans will take that. 6 seconds off the clock, no harm. File, who's played a very good game tonight. You knew he'd be one of these guys out here right now.
Well, Coach Cassidy says he likes File to take the body. He's a Chicago Blackhawk property. That's the way they like him to play in Chicago. Always been a tough defensive town. Play the man. File's doing that tonight. Thornton taking the draw against Perron. It goes back to the point. Here is Dwayne Harmer. Goes up for Elfring. Shot!
No, they're going to wave it off.
It's in the net. The net's dislodged. It's been waved off. The light never went on.
It doesn't matter if the light went on. The net moved before the puck went in the net. Even if the referee had not blown his whistle, as soon as the net comes off its mark, play is supposed to stop, and that net was clearly off before the puck went into the net.
And Mike Perron has his headgear come off again.
That's because he has no hair to hold it on.
Another look at how the action unraveled in front.
Again, every Express player rushing the net. Titan players putting Express players into the net. Ooh, and Perron holding the side of his head.
Well, his head hit the crossbar, and that's what knocked it off. Take a listen as he gets the knock on the noggin.
There it was, that ping you heard just before the shot. That was his head hitting the post. And that's why he sat there and just held his head.
Wow. Mike Perron, lucky he can stand after that one. He'll take this draw against Thornton again.
You can't be timid and play this game.
The faceoff is won by the Titans, and the ring line shot will go wide, and it is icing with 1 minute to go here in this third and final period.
Well, I'm not sure if this is so smart to ice the puck because, yeah, you're going after the open net, but now the faceoff again comes back into your own zone. Although the Titans have done very well tonight on faceoffs.
They have. And Bob Thornton, the Manhasset, New York native, who's only playing in about his 4th game.
4th game, so obviously they're looking for big things from this young fella, and he must be doing it because they're keeping him out there.
Rob Schweier wants to go to the bench. So Thornton, Bertoli, McLean, all out there for the Titans.
He's coming back. They wanted to get Del Monte out there, but the official, Craig Hansen, will not allow the change.
So Schweier stays on, lines up in the slot, along with Lake. Faceoff comes back to the point. They cross to Elfring, and his drive goes up and over the glass and out of play with 53 seconds to go.
And because it was shot directly out of the building, or out of the rink, I should say, by Elfring, the faceoff will come outside the zone. Second time that the Express try to work that play where they had the defenseman, who's a left-handed shot on the right side, and Calvin Elfring, with 27 points, leads the team's defenseman in scoring. That's a booming slap shot goal, but if you miss the net, it doesn't count.
Perron on the draw, just outside the Titan zone against Bob Thornton. Draw won by Thornton. Elfring rolls it to the net. Abadowski tries to clear, but it's kept in by Dwayne Harmer with 46 seconds to go. Now Abadowski tries to clear it to the other side. Still kept in, and now it goes up and over the glass and out of play. The faceoff will still stay in the Trenton end.
Booyar taking a chance there, coming out trying to clear the puck.
Yeah, not once, but twice.
Well, he's got an open net at the other end, too. Maybe a little Marty Brodeur in him here. And then he gets a little hug from the Express player. But he's got to play it a little more conservative right now and hang in here. 30 saves so far tonight on 32 shots. He's played a well-played game for him tonight.
On the draw, Perron trying to gain control. It's picked up by Dion Del Monte. Caromed off one stick. Bertoli just rolls it into the neutral zone with 30 seconds left.
Smart play by Bertoli, because if he went for the net and missed it, it would have been an icing.
Del Monte centers it. It's loose in the slot. Ben Schust couldn't get a stick on it. Trenton wants to clear. Elfring keeps it in. It's still in the slot, and now the Titans will clear as Calvin Elfring goes back with 10 seconds to go. They have time for one more rush if they hurry. 6 seconds to play. Here comes Elfring in a 3-2 game. 2 seconds. Lets it go at the final buzzer. It's wide, and the Trenton Titans hold on to win it by a score of 3-2 over the first place Roanoke Express.
A well-deserved victory, a victory against a team that had won 11 out of its last 12 games, and it was 20 wins and 1 loss when they played on a night following a day off, but none of that mattered tonight because the Titans were on their game.
With a win tonight, Booyar Abadowski picks up his 14th win of the season and a hard-earned 3-2 victory for the Trenton Titans at home over the Roanoke Express.
Hard-earned by everybody. Every forward, every defenseman, everybody did their job tonight.
Only 1 goal in this third period. It came from Ben Schust to make it a 3-2 game, but in the end, when they needed him, Booyar Abadowski stood tall between the pipes. Like the signs say, Boo is the best.
And he showed it tonight. He showed us why. He was the outstanding goaltender in the All-Star game, because he was peppered tonight. 32 shots.
3-2 final as the Trenton Titans defeat Roanoke. And we will have a post game here tonight from Sovereign Bank Arena, so stay tuned for that. 3-2 the final. Stay with us right here on CN8. Back here at Sovereign Bank Arena, a 3-2 final tonight for the Trenton Titans, the first time that they defeat Roanoke here at Sovereign Bank Arena this year. Well, this was a Hard-fought game from the word go. Trenton led by a score of 3-1, but the only goal of that third period by Ben Schust kind of made the Titans sweat a little bit down the stretch, Pete.
Oh, they sure did. That third period, for the first 15 minutes, it was all Titans, and then the last 5, the Express really turned it on and made it interesting.
And I think with the emergence, though, of the Jed Witchurch line with Jerry Keefe and Scott Bertoli, like we talked about the early part of the game tonight where Bertoli was playing with Hall and McLean most of the season, they put him on a new line, and that line really flourished tonight.
Oh, they sure did. They played real well together. You saw some good passing, and it was like they played all season together, because when you make some of those passes, blind passes like that, passes in the slot where you don't know the guy's coming, that comes from instinct, and that's exactly what happened tonight.
Yeah, they had it going, no doubt about that. Let's take a look at a game summary, Pete, as Trenton wins this game by the score of 3-2, and you'll see that Jed Witchurch picked up a goal along with Leakett Anderson and Scott Bertoli. Bertoli, his 14th, he now has scored points in 8 consecutive games. Paul DeFrancisco and Ben Schust, the goal scorers tonight for Roanoke. Bertoli, 3 points, and like we say, that 8-game scoring streak continues. The Express now 20-2. Playing after a day that they had a day off. You know, they were 20-1, and now it shows that, yeah, maybe they are human in Roanoke. Even with a day off, they can still be beaten.
Absolutely, and they were coming off 3 straight victories before this game tonight. But Bertoli, great job. Now he has 12 points in the last 10 games. Wow.
And the other thing is, they needed good goaltending down the stretch from Buyar Amadovsky. We talked about icing the puck and not icing the puck. They made Buyar make a lot of saves down the stretch, and he got the job done.
Buyar played real well. He was tested quite a bit, especially in those last 5 minutes, and he had a lot of activity around the net. It's tough for a goaltender to watch the puck and then have to look out in case players are crashing into him.
Well, Pete, let's take a look at our final stats, and you'll remember that the Titans had the first period advantage almost handedly, but the shots on goal tonight in favor of the Roanoke Express, and they also even up those chances. At one point, the chances were 9-3 in favor of the Titans after the first period. You see how it got a lot closer than that. And even the faceoffs tonight, Roanoke actually won more draws. They controlled the play down the stretch, like we said.
Especially in the third period. Their centers did a great job come that third period, and that's what they needed, because they set up their play from the point, and it all is started when the center wins the faceoff.
Well, let's go downstairs now to Ken Adelberger, who's standing by with the star of the game. Ken.
Thanks very much, and he would be Jed Witchurch, and that line has just been on fire. First, Jed, before we start to talk about the offensive heroics and so on and so forth, a victory here tonight after the layoff, so on and so forth. You guys had the legs from the very beginning. Was the layoff a good thing for you, and come back with fresh minds, fresh legs, the whole bit?
Oh, I definitely think so. It's a long schedule, 70 games, and halfway point, things kind of go astray. But it was a nice layoff for those guys that didn't go to the All-Star game, obviously. Mm-hmm. But, it was a good layoff, and I think it showed tonight. As you said, we had our legs, and we stuck with our systems, and it paid off for us.
And you and Scott and Jerry joining you guys tonight, the three of you having come together tonight like you have, where's the magic come from? How's the chemistry develop so fast?
I don't know. I think, as I told you earlier, 3 college guys, so kind of like the freewheeling style, and Scott's good down low, so he complements us well that way. But it was just a thing, the first time we skated together was this morning in the pregame skate, and I guess you got to give Coach credit. I guess he thought it might work, and it did, and, coming out +3 is definitely a good start for the line.
It's probably the most incredible pass I've seen any one of the guys make this year. Came on your first goal down deep in their zone. Jerry, behind the back, did he even know you were there?
I'll give him credit. I'll say he did, because it was right on the tape, and getting the shot off was the easy part. But it was a great pass, and take my hat off to him. He made it pretty easy to score that one.
And certainly waste no time once it's on your tape, huh? Get rid of it.
That's the key. That's the key. Especially in this league, you get a few big defensemen with long reach, and it's a small guy like myself, it pays to get off in a hurry.
Take us to what eventually was the game winner on this one. You and Bertoli teaming up off the rush. It was a 2-on-1.
I got to give. I got the puck down low there, and Chris File right here at the blue line made a great play. He set a great pick, which opened up a lane, and Scott timed it perfectly, and there he was right there, and it's a big goal. Obviously, it turned out to be the game-winning goal.
Faked me out. I expect you to cut to the middle.
I've done that a few times, and even the last game, and it didn't pay off, so I thought I'd try something new this game.
Assess your season for us, if you would. Certainly, you're putting up the numbers. I guess you must have been misused in college or whatever, because you never had more than 9 goals, whether usually as a defensive forward at Colgate.
No, I wasn't used to defense, I'd say, but, college is a totally different game, too, and you find some players excel at the pro level, some players don't. for whatever reasons, who knows. But college is a different game. It's much more sporadic. We're here. It's much more controlled. So I guess, the pro game maybe pays off even for skill guys because, you play with guys that move the puck well, this and that. But, you got to give the teammates a lot of credit, too, for your success. You wouldn't have these numbers or, accomplish anything without good players and good coaching. So.
But it's not something that happens overnight. I mean, there's been an adjustment period for you, for Scott. The numbers weren't there. Maybe the confidence wasn't there. Is that something that, put a number on it, did it take 20 games, 25 games? Are you starting to hit stride at 30?
Definitely. I would think, the first 10 games is a feeling out process. But, a bunch of rookies on our team like Scott and Mark did well off the start. And once you start doing well, you expect to contribute like that every night. And, but it does take some time because it's a totally different game. The guys are bigger, stronger, and faster, and smarter hockey players obviously playing professional hockey. So I'd say after about the first 10 games, you got adjusted. And then after that, you really got to work on your game and bring it to the next level and, just so you're consistent night in, night out.
Of course, now Mark Murphy, out of the lineup for you guys, goes to Scranton for a 25-game tryout. You don't know if you're going to see him again, so you kind of have to put him out of your mind. Obviously, the cliche is in effect here. Everybody's got to step up. Everybody's got to produce, so on and so forth. You see Mark in the season he has in his first year at this level. He gets the call-up. What kind of hope does that give the rest of you guys? Does it inspire you a little bit more?
Well, I think it definitely does for us college guys, too, because, Scott Bertoli and myself played against Mark for 4 years in college, and he was a good college player, and we all knew he'd sell at this level, just the style of player he is. And to see him get that chance, it does. It gives you something to work for. Work hard every day in practice and try to be consistent night in, night out, and hopefully put up some numbers and make sure the plus-minus stays up there, and hopefully you'll get your shot before it's all over.
This might be one that you want to send the tape to the people back home.
Maybe. It wouldn't be a bad one anyway, but it was a good team win. Everybody's, stepped up. We had a lot of key players out of the lineup, as you said, like Ryan Brown and Mike Mader and Mark Murphy. That's some gaps to fill in the lineup, and guys that usually don't get to play, maybe, this much got a chance tonight, and they definitely got the job done.
Media guide says that he's 5'9", 172 pounds. I'll tell you what, he played like a 6'5", 230-pounder here tonight. Jed Witchurch and that entire line, a fantastic game as the Trenton Titans win here on home ice and beat Roanoke, the Express, the division leaders in the Northeast Division, by a 3-2 score. Jed, congratulations. Congratulations to the Titans. Let's go back upstairs to Mick and Peter, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Ken Adelberger, and also thanks to Jed Witchurch for joining us here on the postgame tonight. Pete, let's take a look at the standings as they've been updated after the Trenton win tonight over Roanoke. You see Roanoke still in first place, 54 points. Then Hampton Roads, which is the next opponent for the Trenton Titans tomorrow night right here at Sovereign Bank Arena, comes calling, so it doesn't get really any easier for Trenton. But then Trenton right now with 40 points, and they are pretty good shape. They're currently in 8th place, about 8 points ahead of their nearest competition. So it looks like they have the playoffs in hand. They just have to keep it rolling.
Well, they have it in hand right now, but you mentioned Hampton Roads coming in tomorrow night. 2nd place, just a few points behind Roanoke. They have another tough game tomorrow night. But this is where you have to start making your points. The next games after Hampton are on the road, so you want to build a winning tradition. You want to start building some momentum. Tonight was the first step. If they can do it tomorrow night, they'd really get it going.
Well, let's talk about our upcoming schedule that you're going to see here on CN8. You have, Hampton Roads coming up, and then you mentioned, Pete, they go to Hampton and then Huntington, so they have to make hay on the road, and then early February, Dayton and Toledo before the CN8 game, which is back here at Sovereign Bank Arena against Greensboro, which the next time you'll see the Trenton Titans on CN8.
Well, Greensboro's playing very well. All the teams you saw right there are playing very well. This is not an easy league. This is a developmental league. I'll get that right. But more importantly, each player is trying to get to the next level, and they do that by playing hard every night.
Well, now for Pete Caggiano and Ken Adelberger, I'm Mick Moningoff. Thanks for joining us this time around as the Trenton Titans win tonight by a score of 3-2 over Roanoke. So long, everybody.